Good morning, everyone. Today is October 13th, 2021. This is a regular meeting of the members of the State Liquor Authority. Present today in Albany, Chairman Bradley, Commissioner Fan, and Commissioner Ford. Staff in attendance, Associate Attorney Furring from Counsel's Office, Deputy Commissioner of Licensing Roberts, and myself, Secretary Donnie. Meeting is being held in Albany and also video conference to our offices in Buffalo and New York City. For those in attendance, our current protocols for COVID, the public needs to be wearing their mask while they're entering the room and also while they're seated. You're welcome to take your mask off when you approach the podium or the table, depending on the location. To speak to the members, that's your option. The members and the staff, since we've separated them by a sufficient amount, are not required to wear masks. Items we call in the order they are signed in for the most part. First in Buffalo, then Albany, then New York City. Items in New York City will be called at 11 o'clock or when we're done with Buffalo and Albany, whichever comes later. If there are any items on the Albany or Buffalo calendar that we expect or there might be an appearance in New York City, we will hold that matter until 11 o'clock. I ask if you have a cell phone, please silence it and take it outside. If you need to have some discussion among yourselves, please go outside. A reminder for the representatives and the attorneys who have brought clients with them, please make sure that whether it's Buffalo, Albany, New York City, that your clients are on the list of people attending. That list is only used so I can get the correct spelling of everyone, but if you don't have everybody signing in, it makes it a little more difficult. The next meetings of the authority will be October 27th, November 10th, and November 22nd. The 22nd is a Tuesday, taking into account the Thanksgiving holiday. Chairman, have anything else? Do you have any announcements to make before we get going?
No, I don't.
All right, then we're going to go.
Tom, the camera from New York is a little blurry. I don't think there's anything there.
Jonathan?
Yeah.
Either our glasses are all bad here in Albany or the camera's gone a little blurry there in New York. If you could just maybe work on that while we move ahead with the Buffalo items. The first item in Buffalo is 2736 Dunkirk Management LLC. Could you state your name, please?
It's Amy Flaherani.
$26.36.
27.
$27.36.
Go ahead, ma'am.
Hi, good morning. My name is Amy Flaherani. I'm here for Dunkirk Management LLC.
Is there anything you want to say to the members in support of your application?
Nope, I just wanted to be here just in case you needed any more information or anything.
Why do you want a liquor store?
I've tried a couple of other businesses. My parents actually own a liquor store in Batavia, New York since 2008, so I've experienced it, and working for other businesses, I've managed convenience stores, gas stations, and the liquor store business is something that suits me best. And I have more.
What's the name of your parents' store?
Mr. Wine and Liquor in Batavia, New York.
We know that. Adam? And you worked at that store?
I have been for the last 7 months, just to get some more experience.
Doesn't say that.
Oh, when she applied back in April.
Yeah, but she just told us that she worked there.
Yeah, it's like-
That'll be about 5 months.
Who's giving you the money to do the store?
I have a loan from Canandaigua National Bank.
And that's based on your own credit or
Yes.
husband's credit or something?
Yeah, it's a business loan, and then I also have a little savings and for more purchase, like for getting the POSs done and all that.
Okay. And you're not gonna commingle this with your parents' store, right?
No.
You understand that if you're caught doing that, both stores will be gone,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just,
Sorry.
sorry.
Go ahead.
I just want to, I'm gonna be 34 next month. I just want to start something for myself and my husband. Branch out and do more.
And the bank gave you a line of credit without
Yeah.
even having a liquor license?
I've known John Savino for a very long time since we were young.
Who's he?
Sorry. What was the question again?
You say you have a $60,000 line of credit from Canandaigua National Bank and Trust. What did you use to secure that?
We secured it with some savings, and also, like I said, I've known him for a very long time, the manager of the.
So he just wrote you a line of credit for $60,000 and there's no.
And we did.
You didn't put
secure it.
is your parents' store securing this line of credit?
No, absolutely not.
Is any other business securing this line of credit?
No.
So there's no security in the line of credit?
There is some. I did put some savings down on it.
Where do your parents live?
Did we look?
In Batavia,
What's the address?
68 Roosevelt Avenue.
So you live right next door to them?
Yes, I bought the house right next door.
How far away is that? From the store?
Is that from where we're from Dunkirk?
Yes.
It's about an hour 45, which I do plan on moving there once we get the license.
The savings that you used to secure the loan, from which account did that come from?
From my ESL account.
We have that?
What does that mean?
What is your ESL account?
My bank account, savings account.
Is that with Barclays?
No, that's a credit card.
ESL is a, what, Empire Savings and Loan or something like that? Or what?
It's a bank, yes, Federal Union Bank.
Did we look at this line of credit or no?
So we have a letter from the bank indicating they have a $60,000 line of credit. It doesn't speak to the terms, doesn't speak to how it was secured, doesn't talk about rates. I would suggest that if you want to continue with this, that we hold it over to get more information about the finances, because the bank accounts and statements that we have don't support.
The 60,000. I mean, they're not just gonna write a line of credit with nothing. They're in business. Yeah, I wanna put it over.
All right, 1027.
All right, so, Chairman, Commissioner Ford?
Over to 1027?
So the application is to be held over to our next meeting on October 27th. And will you be licensing, be in contact with
Yeah,
them?
Mr. Ron, we'll reach out to you, but we're gonna need financial documents to support how the
Okay.
money was obtained.
Yeah.
So if you wanna start getting that together, we'll reach out to you formally. for
Yes.
your-
All right, so back here again on the 27th.
27th, okay. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Yep.
Brian, I have nothing else in Buffalo. Do you have anything there?
No, there is nobody else.
All right, thank you very much. Why don't you just, keep the line open until about 10:30 or so in case somebody does show up. Appreciate it. All right, we're
Thank
gonna move to Albany. We're gonna skip, I think it's Mr. Romano's item, the Westchester County one, just in case anybody shows up in New York. Next item is 2737, COPRI Corp.
morning, everybody.
Robert?
Ramon in Albany, and my client is in New York. This matter, I believe, is coming before you because of a 200 exemption question, and I believe this in 2015, the board had determined that this premise had been continuously licensed since, I believe, 1918.
So before, because I don't want you to have to go through this whole spiel, we've all reviewed this.
Right.
These declaratory rulings aren't transferable. No, so that doesn't mean we don't rule that there's no intervening use. What we lack here is any evidence of intervening use, or non-intervening, meaning that it was empty. We need something from the landlord saying that between the year the previous licensee closed and your client applied, that there was no one else there. And we don't have anything that says that. So that's what we need. If we have that, I'm sure you will get your.
1027?
Yep.
Thank you.
Preferably affidavit form.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, then the next item, 2738, On the Island Wine and Liquor LLC.
Good morning. Joseph Simone, the attorney for On the Island Wine and Liquor.
Where are your clients?
Hang on a second.
Oh, one of the principals, Peter Louisi, Peter, Michael,
Well, why don't you have him come up?
What number is that again, Tom? I'm sorry.
2738.
2738.
and we all also have with us and signed in with Chuck FONDA. He has some information that, you want to relate to the board.
Just, is anybody here in opposition to this application?
We did get one letter of protest from one of the closest stores, just for the record, and it's a wine store that has recently applied to be a full liquor license.
They got that.
They did get it?
Yeah.
Because they said that they put in for recon already and we granted it?
Yeah.
Okay, so the protest is, I'm sure it's still there, but.
I don't think he cares as much now.
Right. Okay, go ahead, sir. I'm sorry.
On that point, I'll just start with that point. Because we have reviewed our application we put down before, nearest liquor stores. And, I'm not sure exactly which one you're referring to. We were aware that one pretty much focused on niche wine. So we weren't aware if that is the one. We don't know that.
Yeah.
Notwithstanding that fact, my client's application relates to a very unique underserved market in the Troy, Waterloo, Cohoes, and Green Island area. The public convenience associated with this matter is that they're actually on an island. And it's an island that was, had fuel and such like that, and it was redone, and there's 267 beautiful luxury apartments on the island. So they're in the parking lot of the island. And there's 30,000 square foot of retail.
And people already live there, right?
Oh, yes.
It's not future development.
And there's 30,000 square foot, what other stores are there, if there is any, at this point?
Peter and Mike would be.
I can talk to that.
Chuck would be able to.
So there's a hair salon, there's a restaurant, there's a coffee shop, an eye doctor, and a few small executive suites that house a real estate agent, interior designer, financial planner, and a massage therapist.
Okay.
So you're on
I'm
the
sorry,
other-
who are you? You're the manager?
I am the owner's rep from Starbuck Island Apartments.
What's your name again?
Chuck funding.
I see, so you represent the landlord.
developer.
I do. Yep.
I see. And where's Laura?
Laura is not here today.
Okay. But she's funding this whole operation.
Laura is Peter's mother.
Okay.
Yes, she is, yes.
So this is located on the other side of the road from Starbuck Island, from the homes, correct?
This is Starbuck Island on that property.
It's in the parking lot. It's across from the park.
So it's within the development
Yes,
of all those homes, that's what I'm asking.
yes.
So if she's on the license, why is there a $300,000 loan from her to the company?
Well, when we discussed it with the accountant, generally speaking, from a business perspective, when and if there is profits, which we assume they will be, she's going to be paid back her money as from the capital for the business. It wouldn't be fair from an economic standpoint to have her put the 300 in and these two.
I understand, so she wants to recoup first.
Oh, yes.
And then it splits the profit,
They're 33,
A third.
33, 33.
right,
Correct.
fair enough.
So,
What's their experience? Well, these guys can talk. What's your experience in this? Why don't you go first? In this industry.
In the liquor industry, I've been fortunate enough to grow up around some other reputable and high-end liquor stores, and you know, through my dad and just being in the area. But as far as my experience in sales and margins and
No, I'm more interested in what made you want to go into this line of work.
just to be honest with you, I enjoy working. It's something to keep me occupied after hours on the weekends and just another source of income. And I think it's a booming industry that you know only has upside, and there's a great opportunity that we were presented with at Starbucks. And I figured it was something that two young, motivated kids could maybe you know make a name out of.
And you?
To Peter's points, but I had no actual history working in a liquor store or in a restaurant, but work in the stone industry, so, you know, importing things around the world, and, you know, that's how, you know, wine and liquor comes, so it's actually really fascinating line of work that I'm interested in, and I've been intrigued in since kind of the start of this entire thing.
And you guys are both going to work there. You're going to keep your other jobs, but you're also going to work there.
But we plan on being there, you know, as much as possible, just as we are in our other jobs.
Okay.
Your father has another store, or you have family members that have store, or you said you grew up around liquor stores?
Well, not that I grew up around liquor stores, just more or less friends of, you know, and they have friends, my parents have friends that have owned restaurants and liquor stores.
Oh, okay.
And so just more or less been in the hospitality business and the retail business for
Cool.
around
And
my
the
life.
construction company is your family business?
Yes.
Is your father's business?
Yes.
Cool.
Where's that located? In Troy?
We just recently relocated to Waterville, the Waterville Town County Water, First Street, Waterville.
Okay.
so I've tried to surmise the convenience statement, if it's okay. So, just across the Green Island Bridge, which now has a pedestrian corridor, there's an additional, I believe, 250 apartments, which would actually be contiguous to the parking lot. We have Green Island, the village of Green Island, which is booming. We've got factories in there, high density. We actually have another project, not we, but the companies have another project that could be another additional 220 apartments. There is no liquor store in Green Island. About 16,000 cars go over the bridge. Green Island's underserved, obviously, the island's underserved. We have a total of like 500 apartments. We believe Waterville's underserved. We'll be a full-service liquor store. And as Peter and Michael pointed out, and it's an obvious question, you know, what experience they have. And I can attest to these two young men for a long period of time, very affable, very hardworking, young men. The other interesting fact, at least it was interesting to me, that I would point out is that Chuck was involved with the village of Green Island in getting the project approved overall, particularly this building. He went and got from the planning board, and I just let you speak, especially if you just give a quick statement on that.
Yes, so we have to go in for every tenant on our commercial building for a special use permit. So since, prior to gathering a building permit to build out the space for the wine and liquor store, I had to go in front of the Village of Green Island Planning Board for a special use permit request. They had a resolution, they approved that, and also proceeded with the building permit as well.
How many residents are on Green Island besides your building?
So on that specific island, there's right now estimated about 1,000 people. We're fully stabilized on our development, and then River's Edge is fully stabilized as well. If you're asking about the village itself, I do not know that answer, sir.
Okay. But you know of at least 1,000?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
The village of Green Island is a high-density, two-family, single-family, tremendous work ethic, and we have, I believe Chuck could attest that, we have actually potentially a multi-use project that would have added additional 220.
Right, so in the last 10 years, Green Island, Cohoes, Waterville area saw a 12% increase in population, right? The only other community locally that's increased that much is Half Moon at 19%. So the population base with the other development that we're doing down the road, which is adding another 220 in the next apartments in the next 3 years, is going to grow that community even more.
Okay.
When you say fully stabilized, what level of income you're talking about?
When I say fully stabilized, I mean every apartment's rented at Starbuck Island.
Oh, you don't
You
have
have no
stabilized
vacancies.
I understand.
I think Starbuck Island is really your customer base for the most part.
It is. So
That's just one part of Green Island,
it is.
so.
And we try to construct that development as a resort-style community so that folks would serve those retail spots and don't have to leave the location of the development.
You're within walking distance of every home there.
That's correct.
Are you guys in this?
Yep, I'm good.
All right, Tom.
Is Laura gonna work there?
Laura Louisi, I let these two folks speak to that, but I also know Laura Louisi for a little bit of time. She's an astute businesswoman who will be intimately involved in the books and records of this business. She's the managing person associated with accounting. She's very familiar with how to run a business at a very high level. I let these two folks, because I'm assuming that Laura will be present at accounting.
Yeah, she will.
She's hands-on, but I'm not gonna stay all day like these two guys are gonna be here. No.
100% she'll be there, at least once or twice, multiple times a week. But yeah, she will have heavy involvement.
Okay. You guys are just friends with each other?
That's correct.
Okay, Commissioner Fan?
Given the unique location and increasing numbers in neighboring stores, I will find public convenience and advantage and vote to approve.
Commissioner Ford?
I vote on grounds of public convenience and advantage as well.
Chairman Brad?
I'm going to vote to approve as well for the same reason. The sales of the closest stores are, for the most part, up over the last 4 years, and it's obvious that this is a unique location that their customer base is going to be within the location of the store. So good luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
The next item is 2685, it's 3349B County Route 6 Corporation. Matters held for the applicant to appear.
2685.
Good morning, my name is Jim Phillips.
Hang on 1 second, sir. Go ahead.
Oh, hi, you came.
Good afternoon, thank you for.
Thanks for coming.
Everyone had COVID last time, so I stayed away.
Well, that's good.
We appreciate that.
I purchased it, I have an LLC. I have one restaurant in Morristown, New York.
Okay.
209 Main Street Corporation, doing business as Alice, named after my mother. Down the road from my house, about a quarter of a mile, there was a restaurant there for about 18 years. It went into receivership. That restaurant, the judge awarded me a bid on that December 4th of 19. We opened in 20, May 20th. My sister's husband passed away. She manages the restaurant for me pretty much. We've had many people. We live in a small lake. 40% of our people are snowbirds. People come into the restaurant, ask for alcohol. I do know there is an opposition 15 miles away in Newbilton, I believe, to my
Yes,
location.
yeah, that's correct.
And so people have asked numerous times about, why don't we have a liquor store around, whichever. They come into the restaurant, ask to buy it, I told them no, so we can't do that. I have a neighbor, longtime friend, 40 years, 30 years probably, 25 to 30, I guess, and time flies at my age. And
Tell me about it.
anyways, he would really like to, what he would do is he would manage the liquor store pretty much for me. He's 70 years old. He lives almost directly across the street from the restaurant. I live within a quarter of a mile of the restaurant. I walk to it. And the liquor store is, I put $135,000 into the building. I put $100,000 renovations in it. The LLC put another $50,000 into renovations, spray foam walls, electrical for the liquor store. So it doesn't appear in the liquor application because that's done by the separate corporation. My tax accountant advises me how to do everything. So the monies that I have put aside is strictly for inventory. And I own an insurance agency, I own 2 restaurants, I own 3 apartment buildings, I own the 2 restaurants and a separate corporation, Phillips Acquisitions Holdings LLC. And I can draw money from any business I need to at any time. So I'm pretty much self-funded on everything. I don't know if that helps you at all or not.
No, it does.
No, we just wanted to make sure you were,
Will you say?
you, yeah. Other than that,
A little crazy I am. I'm 68 years old and I had cancer 3 years ago and I'm still going, so.
oh, good for you. All right, I think we're ready, Tom.
I think Commissioner Pham.
Given that the closest store is quite far away and you own a restaurant next door, so you already have a customer base, I'm going to vote to approve.
Commissioner Ford.
Being so, the closest store, you're in Edwardsville, right?
I'm in Edwardsville. There is a store 7 miles away, Bedrock.
Yes.
She's hardly ever open and she's not friendly with lady, you tell me.
I'm going to approve on public convenience and advantage as well.
Chairman Brown.
I'm going to approve as well. The distance to the closest store, which is well over 6 miles, makes this store publicly convenient. So good luck.
Thank you. Can I make a recommendation to make a condition of personal questionnaire for the manager?
Yes.
So, the person who's going to be running your operation, if he could submit a personal questionnaire. So we have it for our records.
Not a problem.
And we'll request that in our letter.
You'll send an email, sir? Thank you. Thank you all.
Take care.
Bye, thanks for coming down.
Next item, 2735, Route 13 Discount Liquor and Wine LLC.
Good morning, I am Francis Casulo, attorney for the applicant, and Christopher Calabro is a member of the LLC applicant. We're here in support of the license application, and here to answer any questions you may have.
Is there anyone in opposition here? No. We did get 2 protest letters from 2 of the closest stores. Can you tell us why Cortland needs another store?
Yeah, I can.
Since it seems to be that there are 5 stores within about 3.5 miles?
This store is, the proposed store is in the South Portland, in the town of Portlandville area, which is fast becoming one of the economic hubs of Portland County, is where the large retail stores are now there. Also, it is also proposed to serve Tompkins County, which adjoins Portland County, and the closest Tompkins County liquor store is in Dryden, which is at least probably 6-7 miles away from this proposed location. So it's not only looking to get customers from Portland County, it's also looking to get customers, it should get customers from Tompkins County as well, the Dryden area and Freeville area, so that they don't have to, there's just one liquor store in Dryden, and they have to go another 7-8 miles, I believe, to get to Ithaca. So we believe there is a market for another liquor store in this growing area down in the South Portland area, and it will also hopefully serve the Tompkins County area as well.
Commissioner, the 5 licensees are pretty much in the city of Portland, around the border. This store would be in Cortlandville, like Mr. Casulo said. It's in an area where Super Walmart, Price Chopper, all of these, the shopping, pretty much the region is done right by this location, which I feel like it really can serve the needs of the public better, more efficient.
Who's going to run this? Because it says you're only going to do 10 hours a week.
Yeah, I think we do have a manager lined up to run the operation.
Do you own the building?
Yes, I do.
And the $750,000 is all your money?
Yes, it is. And I think I can include the proof of that money within the...
Yeah. And you're going to keep running the real estate business?
Correct. Right.
Where's the restaurant? You still have a restaurant, right?
Yes, I do.
Where's that?
That is in Dryden, which Mr. Casulo mentioned is 7-8 miles away. Towards it, and that's in Tompkins County. And that would be southwest for the location. And I've owned that since 1986.
Impressive.
That's a pretty, you're on Route 13, which is really Route 222, 281. It's all
280, it's 281, and then it runs, this will be on Route 13 because 281 runs into Route 13. And as you go to Dryden and Ithaca, it's Route 13.
I know it intimately. I'm there all the time.
Okay.
So
Sure, Route 222 is probably 2 miles to the north.
That's right.
I didn't mean to say Route 222. Thank you for that correction, but I go through there all the time when I'm going to Ithaca or Dryden. I take the 281 exit at Route 12, exit 12, and
Yep.
so I avoid the city of Cortland as much as possible.
Yeah.
But, you know, that area, you're right next to the Cortland Commerce Center. You're across the street from Walmart, I think JCPenney. Is Lowe's.
Lowe's is there.
Directly across the street.
We have one of each in Portland County. That's where they are.
Yeah. That, and I agree with you. You are as close as you're going to get to Tompkins County at that end of town.
Yep.
Is there a Price Chopper?
The Price Chopper
in that
is right
center
there as
too?
well,
I thought there was, yeah.
which is probably the largest grocery store in the county there.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
ready to vote then?
Yeah.
Commissioner Fan?
All the surrounding stores are doing increasing numbers. Given that it's on the other side of town, I'm going to vote to approve.
Commissioner Ford?
Being so, it is where you're planning on locating it. The other stores were doing increasing numbers pre-COVID 2020. So I find public convenience and advantage to this location. I vote to approve as well.
Chairman Brad?
Based on the location and the sales of this nearest stores, which are all increasing, as both commissioners pointed out, I think there is a public convenience and advantage, so I'm voting to approve.
Thank you
Good
very
luck.
much.
Good luck.
Do we have the managers?
I don't believe that we do.
So when you hire a manager, if you haven't, can you just send a personal questionnaire?
We'll get you a personal questionnaire.
Thank you.
We will do that. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next item is 2618, Bottle of Sackets Harbor LLC.
Good morning.
How you doing?
Oh, 2618. you said.
2618.
Why do you want a liquor store?
Sackets Harbor has had a couple liquor stores in the past.
Say that again?
Sackets Harbor.
Okay.
It's a small village. It's about 1,600 people. We have quite a few seasonal residents and a lot of people who live in the marina in the summer. We've had a few liquor stores in the past. They've all shut down. Largely, in my opinion, because they didn't keep consistent hours. When they had light days, they would cut hours, and people got sick of going there and finding them closed, so they drive to Watertown, which is about 12 miles away.
Or Dexter.
Or Dexter, yeah. There is also one at Westcott's Beach, I believe, just sold. I don't.
Yeah, 3.5 miles, but it's tiny.
But they're seasonal and quite small.
What's your, can you just put your name on the record?
Yeah, it's Alex Mordra.
Oh, he did? Oh, I didn't hear it, okay.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I run an e-commerce warehouse out of Watertown, so 90% of my work is done on my computer, so my plan is to eventually hire a manager, but in the meantime, to operate the business myself, and if we're not busy, that's fine, because I have plenty of work to do on the computer.
Right,
So
and
I just
the,
leave my office, basically, when there's no customers.
and the loan from the Watertown Savings Bank is based on your e-commerce business?
Yes. Which this November will be 10 years old. I bought a 80,000 square foot building 2 years ago in Watertown that we operate in. That building actually, we have tenants in about half of it, and that pays the mortgage. So the building LLC is profitable. My e-commerce business is profitable.
What type of e-commerce?
So we are a 3PL, so we ship for about 50 different e-commerce companies. Our number one client is FuegoBox.com. It's a hot sauce of the month club. We have about 300 different brands of hot sauce in the warehouse.
Oh, so you're like a provider for the companies? Okay.
Yeah, so we ship for about 50 different companies.
Interesting. So the orders come in and then you fill it and then you ship it. Oh,
You're not gonna do that with the, you have no interest in doing that with the alcohol?
We are planning on having website sales, but it'll be local. We're not planning on shipping just yet. My understanding is we have to do some additional licensing to do that.
Right.
We are planning on doing.
I mean, I'm just asking, it certainly doesn't stop you from getting a liquor store, I'm just asking because it is a complex area, particularly when you're shipping out of state.
Yeah, I've done some research into it, and best I can tell, there is an opportunity to partner with people in like California who can't ship to New York to ship their orders for them, but
Not from the liquor store.
I haven't figured out how to make that work without
Yeah,
a separate
you
license.
can't do it, right.
Our plan is to sell online, but locally, and to do delivery locally with, my understanding is we have to own the vehicle. It can't be
Correct.
like a pizza delivery guy's car.
Right, it has to have a,
Either it's your vehicle owned by the entity that's licensed, or somebody with a trucking permit, you know, FedEx, UPS, that kind of thing.
Yeah, our plan is to have our own vehicle.
all right, I don't have anything else.
All right, we're all set.
So who's running this with you?
I will be running it. My fiance will also be.
And that's Jody?
staffing it, but-
Is that Jody?
I don't know who Jody is.
Oh, I don't know, it's just, there's an email on here.
Oh, that,
Jody Lynn G.
oh no, that might be something with the bank.
Okay,
My fiance's Mary Grace.
I see.
So
And
she'll-
she's gonna help
She
you.
also will do the same. So one of us will be, by and large, as we staff up, be at the desk running the store and doing our work. She runs actually one of the e-commerce businesses that I ship for. So she's in the same boat where most of her work is done from her computer. So on slow days, we'll just get more of that work done, and on busy days, we'll have more customers. So that'll help us keep consistent hours.
And you plan to be open 7 days a week?
That's the plan. Yeah,
Okay.
trying to make one less reason for people to have to drive out of town. We're a new grocery store's supposedly opening in a couple months in Sackets. We've been without one for 2 years now. So we're hoping between the two shops that will help support each other because people have fewer reasons to drive
Right.
into the larger village or the larger city.
How far is that shop gonna be from you, right next door?
Under a half mile. It's not quite right next door. I mean, most of Sackets Harbor is in walking distance. There's probably a third of the village is over a mile away, but most of it's right in that downtown core.
Okay, I think we're ready.
I think Commissioner Fan?
Given that the closest store is 3.5 miles away and the next one is 7, and the store is very small, I find public convenience and advantage. I vote to approve.
Commissioner Ford?
I'm surprised there isn't a store in Sackets Harbor.
There was.
Yeah.
They priced everything about $10 a bottle more than Watertown, so people only use them in an emergency.
Yeah, it's a beautiful historical place. Did you know there's another Sackets Harbor in Livingston County?
I didn't.
Yep. There's 2 Polands in New York. There's a lot of places like that.
Is it spelled with a
2 T's.
Okay.
In any case, I vote to approve as well, based on public convenience and advantage.
Chairman Bradley?
I'm gonna vote to approve. The distance of 3 of the 4 closest stores is 7+ miles away, and then the closest store is 3.5 miles. But as the applicant indicated, they have irregular hours, and our records indicate that it is a very, very small store. So I think Sackets Harbor wants its own store, so they should have it. So good luck.
Do they still do that big lacrosse tournament up there?
They do. Yeah, it's thousands of people.
I know.
It was this year. It coincided with our Can-Am festival, so we were actually running golf cart shuttles between the 2 events.
Good luck.
Any restaurants still open up there right now?
What's that?
Any restaurants still open up there right now?
Tin Pan actually got bought by a local doctor, so
Okay.
they've reopened. Goodfellas is still open. The Brew Pub, Boathouse is closed for the season,
Okay.
under new ownership. There's a new one called the Whiskey Coop,
Okay.
which is a fried chicken and whiskey place.
Why are you going up there?
I don't live far from there, so
do.
we always talk about going up there, but I thought they were shut down for the winter, so,
Well, winter's coming late this year.
yeah, true, okay. You may
Very
see us.
cool.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Good luck.
I have 2 other items signed in, but you may have appearances in New York City on both of them. So we'll just hold off for the next 20 minutes, so we'll take a break until 11 o'clock.
Sure.
All righty then.
All right, we're going to resume the October 13, 2021 full board meeting. Just to repeat a few announcements from this morning. Please, those of you in attendance in New York City, keep your mask on while you're seated and while you're entering and exiting the room. When you come up to the podium, you're free to take your mask off if you want to. If you have a cell phone, please silence it. If you need to take a call, please go outside. If you need to, for some reason, have a discussion among yourselves, please go outside rather than in the back of the meeting room. And finally, for those representatives who have clients with them, please make sure your clients and anybody else who intends to be speaking today gets their name entered in the sign-in sheet so we have the correct spelling of their names. All right, with that, we're going to start with the New York City calendar. First, we have two items where there are sign-ins in Albany. First is 2612 Beach Wine and Liquor, Inc. Is there anyone in New York City here on this matter? Okay.
Good morning, everyone. Robert Romano. I'm here with Ethan Patel, who is the principal of Beach Wine and Ampersand Liquor, Inc. And I say that in such a way because this has been a comedy of typographical errors, everything from his bank, which we had corrected, his landlord, which we had corrected, and then going back to 2003, the authority. And I have letters from the authority. Here's one, and this is why we're before you, because you can explain, Mr. Patel can explain better than me, frankly, his situation and how it occurred.
My name is William Patel, and I'm the principal owner of Beach Wine and Liquor. My sister had bought that store in 1996. She retired in 2000, and they transferred the store to me without any money. It was family transfer. At that time, I had told my lawyer, not my lawyer, my accountant, to file the transfer of corporation. Instead of transferring the license, he applied for the transfer of corporation. And this is the copy we have here, and it was approved by the state authority.
It was approved as Beach Wines, plural, and Liquors.
So since 2000, I've been doing business till this January, when I had applied for new renewal. The state authority found out that the license we were applying had S in the tag, and actually the corporation was without the S. So they asked us to apply for a new license, which we did in March, and it was rejected the last time we were due here because my wife was sick and I couldn't come here. So today I'm here with my attorney to plead to please approve that license.
I have to tell you, I find Mr. Patel thoroughly credible, and he gave me the paperwork to show. And even now, the temporary license that was granted, his application says Beach Ampersand Wine Liquor, Inc. And it was issued under Beach Wine A&D Liquor, Inc. So there's still errors that have to be corrected within the system. And it's just been going on and on. And even the bank, I didn't, to be honest, when I first spoke to him, he told me the bank made an error. I was skeptical until I got a call back from one of the chief officers of the branch, and then we had a letter indicating.
Mr. Romano, the application, because I'm looking at it right now, is Beach Wine and A&D Liquor, Inc.
This is what I was.
The one that was, the amended one filed.
Oh,
You look at finish? The one that was filed June 14, 2021, an amended application. It says Beach and A&D.
Adam, can you explain this?
Show me how to package.
Because I'm not, I realize you find him credible, but I don't know that I do.
Okay. You had a package store prior. In that renewal, we found a discrepancy in the letter S. So we told them it's inactive corporation. We can't file a renewal for this the way it is. It's inactive. So we filed a new application.
And how long had it been inactive? Is the memo I have right, 20 years?
Yes.
So he wasn't paying corporate taxes for 20 years. To who?
Under Beach Wine and Liquor. I have a tax ID number under Beach Wine and Liquor, not S. And I have that active corporation since 2000. and I've been paying taxes under that name.
And
they never notified you that?
No, nobody notified, unless the state legal authority in January. they
And what were you
notified.
filing your sales taxes under?
Excuse me?
What were you filing your sales taxes
Fine,
under?
now liquor.
it is a valid corporation, I have the certificate. And he had provided me
I have the tax ID number here too, underneath we filed the tax ID since 2000.
he has been renewing this every 3 years.
No, I know, but it's not our job to chase down corporations.
Right.
And
No, I
that's,
understand.
Adam now has started doing that, which is why this was discovered.
Right.
But 20 years is ridiculous.
Right. And he did have one sale to minor in that 20-year period, but other than that, he had a
All right.
clean history. So we would ask that it can be sent back to.
I'm gonna vote yes to recon.
All right, Commissioner Ford on reconsideration.
I'm going to vote yes to recon as well.
Chairman Brown.
I'll vote yes.
All right, then, moving forward on the application then.
You want it back, or do you?
I mean, to Secretary Donahue's point, and I don't know what the Department of State filing receipt says, but you're talking about an ampersand at beach wine and liquor, but the application we have is beach wine and the word liquor.
So is the personal questionnaire.
So I'm not, that's the thing. This got screwed up because somebody wasn't paying attention to all of the ands and ampersands. So I would rather you go and make sure this is all consistent going forward. Or they make sure they make it consistent.
So we can approve and just make sure that all gets squared away with licensing, or what?
There's too many things that need I understand it's discrepancy between the word and an ampersand, but all of the paperwork.
Well, the state of New York it's a big deal,
That's
yeah.
what I'm saying. All their legal documentation to support the business entity don't reflect what we have in our system. So essentially, we're gonna have to go back and start fresh with this in a lot of ways, including notification, to make sure that everything's consistent under business documentation to support the business entity. So if you want to give it back to us, we'll take it, but we have a lot of work to do.
It's a new application.
No, that's what I'm saying, no, we have to do a new.
We have a new application that still has inconsistencies.
Your new application's in the wrong business entity name.
Right.
We can't overlook the fact that the word and ampersand, we can't use it interchangeably.
And forgive me, I have the correct page with the ampersand, but all the supporting documentation has the A and B or an ampersand?
The certificate of authority has the ampersand.
Right, that's correct.
The application that you filed with this other word.
Right, so if we change the.
We have to refile paperwork, but to refile notice.
So do you?
I'm sorry, there's no notice, sorry, refile.
You want to
Send it back.
Send it back to us, the language.
Commissioner Fan?
Yes, that's fine, back to licensing.
That's fine with me too.
Thank you, your certificate of authority. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, thank you.
Next item, 2686, CITARELLA Hudson Wines and Spirits LLC. You here in opposition?
Yes, we're here in opposition, Tom.
No,
Thomas.
I'm talking to someone, I'm talking to someone in Albany. Hold on
I'm
for a second.
sorry.
Are you opposition? Yeah. Okay.
2686.
Mr. Dana, you represent the applicant, correct?
I do.
All right, so the opposition can sit down for now because we have to decide whether we're going to reconsider this or not.
Okay.
And then you'll get your chance, assuming we do.
Could you kind of try to avoid shuffling the papers near the mic because we're getting no feedback?
I'll do my best. May I start?
Yes.
I'm Kevin Dano. I represent the applicant. I'm with the firm of Dano, McMullen and Panoff. If I may, I'd like to introduce our new associate, not so new, but since COVID, it's a long time. This is Brian Fink. He's an associate with the firm. I also have with me Joe Guerrero, who is the owner of CITARELLA and the owner of the CITARELLA Hudson Wine and Spirits. I have with me Michael Etchison, who is the wine director, and also Stephen Schneider, who is an expert in traffic and who did a traffic report which we filed with you. In the point of reconsideration, I would like to first point out that there has been a material change in circumstance. One of the main reasons, or the main reason, that you did not approve this application was that you said that you thought that there were already enough liquor stores in the area. Mr. Guerrera has entered into a contract with one of the 4 closest stores that's only 4,800 feet away to purchase that store. The owners of that store wish to retire, and therefore that store would consolidate into this store if you approve it. So that's a major change in facts and circumstances. In addition, you were concerned about whether or not the growth in the area was just COVID-related or permanent. Well, since the application was reviewed, the census has come out, and the census is forward-looking. That is to say, it is used under the New York State Constitution and under the federal Constitution to determine who the representatives will be going forward, who gets representatives and what representatives they get. And when they do this, they ask the people that they're giving who's giving their census responses where their main residence is, where they intend to sleep most of the time. And they have increased the population in this area by 10,000 people. So the idea that this is a temporary increase is really belied by the only evidence that is available. Third,
but the numbers you gave us were for the town.
That's correct.
Correct?
Yes.
This is in the village. This is in the village, correct?
Yes, but the village is in the town, and the town, you talk about the town growth, and the village is where people go to shop from the town.
Well, should we then under that argument, should we consider every liquor store in the town?
No, well, the question is, if you were to, first of all, I don't know how you could, but if you did, you could. But there is growth in all the liquor stores that you have evidence of. There is material growth. I mean, tremendous growth. And they're all multi-million-dollar stores, or over $1 million in sales stores, every one of them. And as I said, there won't be a new store added in the village because he'll be buying one of the stores that's already in the village. So you're talking about...
I'm confused about what you're asking for here. You're asking for reconsideration based on the fact that they're going to transfer a store?
That's correct. No, I'm asking for reconsideration that is a factor in the reconsideration, that there will not be a new store added to this area, but rather the same number of stores will service the area of the village. That is, it's currently servicing the village.
If you're representing that a store is no longer going to be there, why is that a consideration on the removal?
Because
the fact remains that there is a store there, right? We're not considering a transfer application before the members. We're considering a removal. You're asking the members to make a decision based on a contingency.
But the only contingency is what your decision is. We sent you a copy of the contract. It is contingent on your approval of this license application. If you approve this license application, that store will disappear. It is it's not a contingency in the sense that it may or may not happen. It will happen if you grant this license.
So this is really not for reconsideration. This isn't for reconsideration. It's for the merits.
I believe it is because it changes the circumstance because the major area.
The shutting the store certainly changes the circumstances. I'm not disagreeing with you, but now if this does get reconsidered, now what this is now turned into is not a removal from Hudson Yards. It's a removal from a mile away.
Well, right? You could look at it that way. What it would be is, we have the removal from Hudson.
How else would I? You're basically saying you want us to move a store that's now a mile away to within 300 feet of another store.
Yes, I am saying.
That's what
we are talking about. That. Yeah, we're talking about that.
So we can vote on reconsideration right now.
I haven't finished going over the changes.
You're going to get reconsideration. So that's why we're voting on it right now.
In that case, I have finished.
Commissioner Fan already voted for the application, so I'm sure she's voting to reconsider. That's why.
On the reconsideration request, Commissioner Fan.
I think that the future agreement or current agreement to close one of the competing stores is a change in material fact, so I'm going to vote yes.
Commissioner Ford.
I will give you a chance to speak your piece, make your case. I will vote to reconsider.
Chairman Bradley.
And I will vote to reconsider too. There's clearly a change in material fact. But now the fact is, he's asking us to move a liquor store from a mile away to within 200 feet of the new liquor store, and somehow that is going to be more publicly convenient. That I'm interested in hearing.
Do you want to hear the opposition first?
Yes, please.
So anybody opposed, please come up. And I'm going to remind everybody again, if you're seated in the gallery in New York City, okay, please put your mask on. Once you come up to the podium, you can take your mask off. You want to go?
Yeah, whatever.
All right, why don't you put your names on the record and then go ahead.
Okay, Thomas Burke.
No. Hold on for
No, I'm sorry, Tom. You go first.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Good morning. My name is Michelle Riley. I'm one of the owners. This is my business partner and brother-in-law, Johnny. Thank you for having us. Yeah, we're here.
Statement now, or?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. We're here obviously opposing this.
What store do you own?
We own Herbert Rist at 63 Joe's Lane in Southampton.
Who prepared this letter that was dated September 23rd?
I did. And I apologize for that now.
Sure.
The oversight, I had a 2015 folder when we did this, when Commissioner Kim was here, and I transposed those, and I realized that after I hit send, and I apologize deeply for that, Commissioner.
Can you stop shuffling your papers on top of the microphone? Thank you.
Okay, go ahead.
None of you are nervous, but I'm on.
Don't kid yourself. Every day we're nervous.
All right. So this application has been opposed by our village mayor, Jesse Warren, by our village deputy mayor, Gina Aresta, by our town supervisor, Jay Schneiderman, by our county assemblyman, Fred Beal, by a former U.S. congressman, and he's a Southampton Village resident, Tim Bishop, the Southampton Elementary School PTO, Southampton Elementary School Crossing Guards, the Southampton Association, which has 300 Southampton Village homeowners, numerous community letters, and I'm sure you've received a number of letters in opposed to this, and all of the local liquor stores. This reconsideration is based upon 3 items. That COVID will continue to prop up the Hamptons population. This is so not true. We're already seeing a huge decline. People are vaccinated. Kids are back to school. Parents are back in the office. They're in Manhattan. CITARELLA will carry a vast array of new products that aren't currently available. I mean, that's, our motto is if we don't have it, we're gonna get it. And CITARELLA will purchase Zappy's and close that store, thus not changing the number, class, and character of stores in the area. This could be further from the truth. Closing Zappy's would require those customers to drive into the heart of the village and would only worsen traffic issues. Quality of life and safety, that every protest letter you have in front of you is discussed. This would not be a convenience, this would be a nuisance. Zappy's, which has been in the village, on the line, has been in that area for well over a decade and serving that area of our village for well over a decade. Now we're only talking the village, we're not talking the town, okay? Lamplighter, which is 295 steps from this proposed location at 30 Hampton Road, and it has its own parking lot. My store, Herbert Rist, is 433 walking steps to Hampton Road. I know that because I go to lunch at CITARELLA. It's very close. It's within walking distance. And we have our own parking lot. Nobody in this community wants this. We hope that you listen to us.
Okay, thank you. You have anything, or you?
Sir?
You here for support?
No,
Yeah,
yes.
okay.
We're business partners.
Yes.
Okay.
We don't need to be.
Go ahead, Tom.
All right. Down in New York then, the opposition.
All right, Thomas Burke from the law office of Stacy Weiss in opposition, representing the 2 closest stores. Lamplighter Wines and Liquors, and Herb and Wrist. Okay, so to address the idea that CITARELLA's will purchase the assets of Zabi's, it looks like a transfer, and as you said, it's not a transfer. They intend to close this store. As a matter of fact, they don't intend to buy the assets of this store unless you allow them to open a store at 30 Hampton Road. Now, if it were a true transfer, it wouldn't change the landscape, it wouldn't change the distances between stores, it wouldn't change the levels of competition. However, just as an example, the closest store to the applicant's location is Lamplighter Wines and Liquors. They are currently 4,836 feet away from Zabi Spirits. It's been that way for 25 years. They've existed in competition. However, if you close Zabi's and you open a store at 30 Hampton Road, the competition is not 4,800 feet away, it's now 737 feet away. That's 295 steps. That's a 2-minute walk. The second closest store, Herb and Wrist, has also for 25 years competed with Zabi's at a distance of 5,000 feet. If you close Zabi's, open a store at 30 Hampton Road, they're now competing with a store 1,500 feet away. So this asset purchase of Zabi's doesn't mitigate the circumstances at all. Now, the chairman mentioned the population data. Exactly right. They give us the population data of the town of Southampton. There is no population data published by the United States Census Bureau for villages or towns with populations under 5,000 people. So the population of the village of Southampton has not been published. The only evidence we have of the village of Southampton is the official census map of the village of Southampton, and that was last done in 2019 and shows the population at 3,307 people. There's no further evidence that there's any increase in the population in the village of Southampton, and that's what we're concerned with here. Okay, the request for reconsideration says, those residents and politicians who opposed CITARELLA's petition provided no credible evidence to support their positions. Now, since 2015, the same residents, the same elected officials have opposed a new store using that parking lot behind CITARELLA's. And the reason they did is not because they're against stores, they're worried about the safety of the children that attend the elementary school adjacent to that parking lot. There's a road between the school and the parking lot. That road is the only entrance to that parking lot. So any customers using that parking lot, any delivery trucks or other kind of trucks coming into that parking lot use that road. Now, parents of those children drop those children off in the morning in that parking lot. Children walk across the road to the school. The afternoon they pick them up, children walk back across the road to the parking lot. This is what the politicians and the residents are worried about. They're worried about endangering the children who use that school. Now, I'm going to quote Chairman Bradley, who says, "We take that local elected officials know their communities better than we do." So let's move on to unique products. I don't see any unique products. I don't know of any unique products unless CITARELLA's has an exclusive contract with a manufacturer or a distributor which says that they alone will get a product to handle. Also, they have a Mr. Atchison, who is the wine and spirits director, and he states that he visited the 4 closest liquor stores, and that when he visited Herb and Wrist, he found very few New York State wines and spirits with no particular attention paid to them. Now, in my submission, you've seen the photographs of the inventory of New York wines and spirits for Herb and Wrist. So that's not true. Now, let's talk about
30 seconds.
Pardon?
You have 30 seconds.
Let's talk about public convenience and advantage. If you open a liquor store at 30 Hampton Road, you're saving people a 2-minute walk to Lamplighter. Lamplighter has a full parking lot with no safety issues, and Lamplighter is across the street from the largest grocery store, Stop and Shop supermarket in the village. I can see no advantage or convenience to the public by issuing this license. Now, the owner of Lamplighter would like to be heard.
Thank you very much. My name is Jeremy Slovic. We're the owner of Lamplighter Wines. My family owns it. We're a very small family-run business. Been here since 1972 in the village. We've been at this location since 1978.
in the town of Southampton. We have ample amount of parking, no safety issues, and we are directly across the street from Stop and Shop, one of the largest grocery store chains in the Long Island or in the country. They have 137 stores in New York, Long Island, much bigger than CITARELLA. And next to my shop is CVS Pharmacy, which is also very convenient since it's next door to the grocery store and to the wine shop. We're here to protest CITARELLA and Hudson Wines and Spirits removing their license. I see, and obviously in the past, you've denied them twice, and that's the correct decision. All the elected officials since 2015 have been re-elected. They speak for our community. Our community asked them to represent us. Not only that, though, we also have numerous community members writing protest letters for many reasons. The village doesn't need another liquor store. It's important to know that my entrance is 295 steps away from CITARELLA's entrance. To give you an idea, I could stand on the corner of Hampton Road and Main Street and at the same time see CITARELLA's front entrance and my entrance at the same exact time. There's no need for this. CITARELLA is too close to the elementary school, and this area is designated by federal and state program called Safe Route and School Program, Safe Route to School Program. If federal taxes and state taxes were given to this area to make sure our community children are safe. That's the most important thing. When you think about this, apparently, possibly giving them a license, their deliveries can only take place in the back. They can only take place in that parking lot. The village does not allow deliveries from the big distributors, the big commercial trucks, does not allow them to be delivered in the front of the road. They only can use that back parking lot. And we're talking 100 commercial big trucks maybe a week. We're talking 15, 20 a day. And this is the same time.
So you're saying that
for the liquor,
whoa.
Just to make it clear, we're not, liquor stores aren't getting 20, they're not getting 20 deliveries a day, but I understand your point. Could you wrap it up though?
I apologize.
And do the children not walk past your store when they go to school?
Nope.
Because your store is in the back?
That's a great question. We're on the other side. We're 295 steps to the east, to the west of them. So the elementary school's on the west side, on the east side of them. So we're on the other side of CITARELLA.
Yeah,
so they don't go near us.
Which one is Jobs Lane?
You guys are all kind of close to the school at this point. So
No. Commissioner Fan?
Yep.
There's no school traffic at all at our store. Again, we're across the street from Stop and Shop, and we're 295 feet further on the other side of CITARELLA from the school. So we're completely have no harm to the children at all and no safety issues at all.
All right, thank you very much.
Just before I go, I just want to make one more point, please, is that our sales figures, and everyone believes in science, and we all believe in the vaccinations. My whole staff is vaccinated. But to give you an idea of just where the population has gone into the city and has left anyone who is in their second or third home, our sales figures in September of 2021 are 25% lower than they were in September 2020. And in October so far, we are 28% lower than we were in 2021. So the trend is getting lower. And you can see 4 years prior, we were completely flat. Thank you very much for your time, and please don't allow them. Please don't allow them. Thank you.
Is there anyone else here in opposition? And Mr. Slovik, could you put your mask on, please? You're the one I noticed wasn't wearing it.
Sorry about that.
He's vaccinated, though, he told
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Dano, go ahead.
Well, before I go into all of the
Hold on,
other
I'm
things.
sorry, you guys can sit down.
Okay, thank you.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Before I go into all the other things that were talked about in terms of public convenience and advantage, I would like to point out that there is a false premise that is before you. And that is the idea that if CITARELLA doesn't go into this store, no store will go into this store. That is, the store, this place will remain vacant. The question before you is not really what effect would a liquor store have in this store. The question is, what effect would this liquor store have versus whatever else reasonably might go into this space? Because there's going to be something there in any event. So the question really is, what is the effect on traffic? Now, I'm going to ask an expert, Stephen Schneider, who is a professional engineer and with a specific expertise in traffic, to discuss that with you. And I also would like to, before I do, that the CITARELLA store is on the far side of a very, very long parking lot from the school. It is nowhere really near the school, and as for the trucks, this is the only, CITARELLA is the only one that has a special right for trucks to pull in out of the lanes of traffic when they load and unload. And as Chairman Bradley pointed out, as a matter of fact, liquor stores have less truck delivery than almost any other kind of food business because there are a few major distributors and they deliver everything at the same time with one truck each. But I'd like you to now listen to Stephen Schneider.
Members, respectfully, we take a brief recess before we hear this.
To consult with counsel?
Yes.
The members are going to take a brief recess to discuss a legal issue with counsel, and we'll return in a few minutes. All right, then, we are back after a brief recess for the members to discuss a legal issue with counsel. We're back on the record with item 2686.
So as I said, if I may, I would like to introduce Steve Schneider. He's a professional engineer and an expert in traffic.
Good morning. My name is Stephen Schneider of Schneider Engineering, 43 Seacliff Avenue, Miller Place, New York, 11764. I'm licensed in New York State as well as other states, and I've been doing this for about 50 years, and show the gray hair for it. You do have a copy of my report that I submitted, I believe, a few days ago.
Correct, yes, we do, yes.
I'm just going to highlight a few points based on today's discussion. First of all, the children that are picked up at the school and dropped off can only be picked up and dropped off on school grounds. They cannot walk to the cars anywhere. They're elementary school children. That's point number one. Number two, you also have to realize that most of the trips that are generated to a liquor store do not occur in the morning or during the day. It's mostly after 4 o'clock, either Monday through Friday or weekends. And in those cases, in every case, the school is pretty much closed at that time, and the children are not in school at all. Thirdly, as you also know that, or should know, I'm sure that there are less trucks that will be delivered goods to this type of store versus an alternate store that could be there, like a food store of some type, which you have different types of companies dropping off items in different trucks. Here, there are a minimal amount of trucks that are being dropped off, and in this particular case, the client also has his own parking lot specifically for the trucks if necessary. Also, when people do go to a liquor store, they don't just go from the village. They don't just walk only from the village or drive from the village. They are at least townwide, if not more. Places and businesses
Can I stop you there? I understand you're a traffic expert, but are you also an expert on the customers that frequent liquor stores?
No, only on the ITE. The Institute of Transportation Engineers has studies that were done across the country that we use as almost like a Bible, and they tell you how many trips are being generated by different types of uses, but every type, including liquor stores, and also how many, not only trips, but how many parking spaces are required. For example, liquor stores, people normally go in for 10 minutes and they're out. You go to a different type of a store, a supermarket or whatever, when you go to that store, even if you have the same person going to it, they're there more than 10 minutes. They need the parking spot for a longer period of time. So when we show in our charts that eight cars are going to a site that's 4 each way, and those are only there for 10 minutes each, maximum, approximately. Thirdly, you also have to realize that, let's see here. Oh, there's also called pass-by traffic. And pass-by traffic, there's about 60%, according to ITE and other industry-wide standards in engineering, that are old Bibles of one type or another, 60% of what's called pass-by traffic. That means that the primary spot to go to for that person isn't a liquor store. That might be a second or third location they want to stop off. They may want to go to a store down the street. And while they're going to a food store, they'll also go to same parking spot, go to the liquor store. So liquor stores really do not generate that many cars nor that many trucks, much less, and has no interference with the school whatsoever. Again, the liquor store isn't even near the corner where the school is. It's much further into the development, into the shopping center. Plus, there's parking on the street. There's 31 parking spaces right in front of the building for anybody to park, go to the liquor store or any other store, and then leave. So to me, those are the most important points I just wanted to bring out to you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
As I said before, this space is going to be used for something. And the question you have to ask when you ask about traffic is, will this space, will the liquor store here increase the amount of traffic or decrease the amount of traffic or keep it the same? And as you just heard, liquor stores are bypassed, and as Commissioner Fan noted the last time, you regularly find that it is in the public convenience and advantage to have a liquor store next to a grocery store or a gourmet market. And in terms of that pass-by, it's not just the gourmet market, it's everything else that's adjacent to that parking lot. And when the opposition talks to you about the fact that they are 200 feet away, which they're not, they're
They said 200 and some steps. They did not say feet.
They said about 300
okay,
steps.
so, all right, but they're like, according to Google Maps, they're a 5-minute walk or a 10-minute walk away. And when they talk to you and they say to you that they have their own parking lot, what they're really saying to you is that someone will drive from CITARELLA to them, which is increasing traffic, not decreasing traffic, right? Because if somebody gets out of CITARELLA and then drives to another store, that's not a decrease in traffic, okay?
You seem focused on this traffic thing, and I get why. Because Southampton, obviously, particularly the village, obviously has a parking issue as well as a traffic issue, particularly in the summer months. But what you're not talking about is the fact that why does the village or Southampton village, or any village for that matter, need a store 600 feet or 700 feet from another one?
Well, first of all, the answer to that question is...
It's not 600, it's more, it's 1,000.
It's not 600.
My understanding is the closest store will be approximately 700 and some feet and change away.
Yeah, 700 feet away. It's on a different block, and you'd have to drive to it. And secondly,
this is a village.
Because you have a... Never mind. I'm not answering them. I'm talking to you. You asked the question, why do you need a liquor store? First of all, you always ask, Mr. Chairman, what will this liquor store bring that another liquor store doesn't? We have given you, and I have the wine director here, we have given you 5 pages of the kinds of goods that will be sold in this liquor store that's not sold in others. Now, I heard the gentleman in opposition tell you that, truthfully, that any liquor store can buy basically any wine or spirits except for private collections.
How many times have you heard me ask that question when they're under 1,000 feet away?
I can't answer that. I can't answer that question.
I can't either, but I guarantee you it's rare.
The point here is that if this store is going to carry, when you walk into a package store, you look around for what's in the package store. Yes, the package store can order anything that you ask them to, but people buy their wine planning on their dinner that night, right? Or at the time that they're there. If you're saying, I can order it for you, you can come back, that's more traffic, and it's more inconvenience. We're talking about a store that's going to have tremendously different arrays of goods than are currently available. And
is your client there?
Yes. Would you like to hear
Can I ask him a question? Yes.
Absolutely. That's Commissioner Fan.
How are you?
Hey, what percentage of
Excuse me,
your
Commissioner Fan. Excuse me, Commissioner Fan. Just announce your name. I'm sorry, Commissioner.
Sure.
Announce your name for the record.
My name is Joe Guerrera, and I'm the owner of CITARELLA.
Hi.
Hi.
What percentage of your grocery sales on the East End out of all your stores are deliveries? Ballpark.
Not much, it's not a big percentage, but the difference
It's not a
is
big
that
percentage.
of deliveries that we deliver to you, to your house?
Yes, yes.
It's not a big percentage. It's not a big percentage. No.
But in
What
the event that this, in the event that this gets granted and they order groceries from you, in theory, you're also going to be delivering alcohol along with the groceries.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
But the difference is, we are not a stop and shop. We attract different people, we offer different items. And
Yes, I
on the
understand
same-
that.
On the same token, we're going, the same different level difference between Stop and Shop and Citarella, that's what we're going to be doing with wines also.
I understand. Okay.
Thank you.
I would point out before I go on, if I may, that you know, the Stop and Shop is across the street. That means people have to walk from one of the current liquor stores. They're saying how convenient they are. That means they have to walk across the street and in the danger of traffic. When you those are some of the things that life is like.
There's a crosswalk there.
I'm not saying that there's a crosswalk at Citarella too. You know, it's these arguments are really arguments about not having competition, and the courts have said, and the legislature has said that in areas where there is sufficient sales, and each of these stores has over $1 million in sales, then competition is good, not bad.
Oh, yeah, I think you're more than that.
Yeah, and they're growing. You know, they're growing year over year, not just growing during COVID, but year over year they're growing. And the population is growing. And there is room for another store.
Mr. Dan, see, this is where you're being somewhat disingenuous, because you're not asking
I may be wrong, sir, but I'm never
you're
disingenuous.
you're not asking to put a new store in here. You're asking to move a store that's already there, closer to the others. So it has nothing to do with competition.
Well,
It really well, the only thing it has to do with is moving it next to Citarella, because Citarella owns the building. You are not. We're not. You're not asking us to put a new store in there. We're not. You can't even argue that we're protecting anybody, because all you're asking us to do is keep the same amount of stores, but make them all closer together because my client wants a store next door to his grocery store.
No, I'm asking you.
That's
first
what
of all,
this is, and you didn't apply for it either.
First of all, we are moving a store from New York City to here.
You are not. You have now based on this agreement, what you have done is you have asked for a transfer of a liquor store that is contingent on us allowing it to remove. We have not gotten an application for that transfer, and we have not approved that transfer. And that's all steps that should be done here.
Excuse me, sir, but if you read the contract, it says either we could ask for a removal, or if the approval of the removal from the liquor store from Hudson Yards were approved, that meets the condition. It doesn't require a removal, and we're asking for the removal.
They're the same thing. How are they any different? Explain that.
Because you had an application before you for a removal. You said when that application before you came to you that you felt that 5 stores in the area were enough. And Mr. Guerrera said, okay, if the chairman feels, and if Commissioner Ford feels that 5 stores in the area are enough.
4 was enough.
4 is enough, I'm sorry.
4 was enough. They didn't want a 5th.
You said, I'm sorry. Yes, okay. If you say 4 is enough, he said, okay, let me satisfy that condition. And he went to satisfy that condition because that was the condition you put on.
And I will tell you right now that if they apply for a transfer, and I think everybody up here would agree with me, if they apply for a transfer and go into that other store, he's more than welcome to it. Go into the store they're going to buy. This is not what we're talking about, buying a store and moving it. Hudson Yards is now way off into the future. We're talking about closing Hudson Yards. All we're talking about is a transfer and a removal.
It's not convenience for the people.
You know, Mr. Chairman, all that would, if what you say is true, if Commissioner Fan and Commissioner Ford and you would vote for a removal of Zabby's positively.
I did not say removal. I said transfer.
You mean
if they want to go into Zabby's, I think that no one here would have a problem with that.
You're talking in its current location.
I understand what they want. It makes perfect sense. I'm not telling you that it doesn't. But I also understand why the local politicians don't want it.
Well, I'd like to point out to you that
The local politician said 4's enough. And I agree with it.
the local politician said there were enough stores there. The 4 was enough. All right, except for the traffic, which is the thing that you said I was harping on, and that's why I was harping on.
And
I'd also
if that's what they said, then I don't see any support from them with moving this one closer.
I didn't say I'd have their support, but that's what they said.
No, So
and
now,
let me- let- let-
we're
let-
mi-
let
we're
me-
missing words now. All right, I think I made my point. Do you have anything else?
Well, I'd like to point out, again, that all the stores are increasing in their sales tremendously. That, I do want to point out that according to the case of Circus Disco, while it is appropriate to take into consideration the opinions of politicians, it is not appropriate to put their opinions above the evidence in the file. And the only evidence in this file with regard to that is that is that the traffic will not be increased and that the public convenience and advantage will be.
Okay. Okay.
Are we ready to vote then on this?
Yeah.
All right. Commissioner Pham?
I voted in the affirmative last time. While I understand the argument about the proximity to the school, the law is 200 foot, and I don't believe that applies here. From a consumer standpoint, I think there's undeniable convenience and advantage to put this right next to CITARELLA, which is where a lot of people shop. I think there is a benefit to the home delivery, so I'm going to vote again in the affirmative.
Commissioner Ford?
Boy, I've looked at this a lot and read through a lot and looked at maps and everything else a lot. I'm going to deny on public convenience and advantage standard because of where you're going, right, between two other stores that are already there. If you were going to go in the place, the store that you're trying to transfer from, as Chairman Bradley has said, I don't think anyone here would have a problem with that. I'm not telling you to go that route. I'm just saying it would be easier for me to say yes, but I'm voting to deny.
Chairman Bradley?
I'm voting to deny as well. I realize that there is a material change. They are interested in purchasing a store, but really what this breaks down to, in my view, is if it had been brought to me, would I have approved Zabi Spirits Corp moving to this location in the village of Southampton based on public convenience and advantage? And I would not. It's moving significantly closer to two liquor stores, both of which would be in walking distance of this new location. And I also think that this, if it was going to be done this way, that the transfer should have been applied for and made conditional on the removal of Zabi going to the CITARELLA location, and it was not. So I think they had the cart before the horse to begin with, but I don't see any public convenience and advantage to putting a store in this area. And Commissioner Pham is right. In my view, it has nothing to do with the school. The school is 500 feet away. The law is 200 feet. My issue is with the distance of the three closest stores.
Thank you.
All right, the next item I have is 2616, CHEN'S Discount Wines and Liquors.
We're here in opposition.
Is there anyone else here for CHEN'S Discount Wines and Liquors? Is Mr. Yu here?
Yes, sir. Right here. Good afternoon. My name is Jay Yu. I'm a representative, and Mr. Chen is the owner of the liquor store.
Is there opposition or no?
Yes,
Yes, Mr. Burgess.
All right, why don't you let the opposition go first?
Sure. Thomas Burke from the Law Office of Stacy Weiss, here in opposition. This is the owner of the closest store, Amphora Sales, Inc., Ms. Pushpa Saranvasan. Okay, so when the Saranvasan store opened in 2014, she opened an 800-foot store, 1,126 feet away from CHEN'S Discount Wines and Liquors. The stores were both comparatively the same size, and they have coexisted for the past 7 years, and they have both survived. However, now the applicant wants to change the playing field. He wants to move his store 156 feet to a new store that is 3,370 square feet. Now, I know there's a memo that says it's 2,700 square feet, but if you see my submission, you'll see I have a real estate listing from LoopNet that describes 490 Mamaroneck Avenue as being 3,370 square feet. I went a little further and I found another real estate listing from Showcase.com which says 490 Mamaroneck Avenue is 3,370 feet. And I went further still to cityfeet.com. They have a listing for 490 Mamaroneck Avenue, and they say it's 3,370 square feet. And that notwithstanding, the applicant says he's going to use 1,500 square feet as retail space. My client has 450 square feet of retail space. So they're looking to open a store with more than 3 times the retail space of a store that used to have comparative space with them. Now, there's already a 10,000 square foot store a 6-minute drive away on Tarrytown Road in Westchester. We have to compete with that. Now, I refer you back to 2018, and at that time, there was an application to open a large store by White Plains Fine Wines and Spirits. They applied for a liquor store license for a store 12 minutes away from my client's store. And the members at that time saw fit to deny that application, and I quote, "Such a large store would negatively impact the sales of the existing stores." Now, there's absolutely no new development in that area, and my client's sales decreased between 2017 and 2018 by 8%, $30,000, and has continued to decline since then, except, of course, for the 2020 COVID bump. Okay? So based on no new development, and based on the size of this store, and no increased demand in the area, I say there is no reason to allow the applicant to increase the size of its business 3 times and put the store out of business. Now, the owner would like to be heard.
Good morning. We bought an existing store in 2014, and it has been there for a very long time. When we bought it, our expectancy was there are 2 stores around us. This one is 1,100 feet south of us, and there's one more 1,200 feet north of us, which is around 2,000 square feet. And we all 3 of us are on the same street. We were doing okay so far, and now increasing the square footage to 3,300 with 3 times the retail space will adversely affect. And when we bought the store, we put in all our savings into this, and our livelihood is at stake.
Thank you.
Store addition?
Yes.
But he's moving further away from
150 feet. It's the size of the word. Go ahead.
Okay, I submit the letter the last Friday, but I'm just gonna briefly gonna summarize it, and then we can go from there. Actually, we are moving to 474 Mamaroneck Avenue to 490. Which
Sir,
is
we have the letter. You don't need to summarize the letter. Do you have anything you want to add?
Okay. The reason being is that I just want to emphasize it that the reason being he want to move out to the new location is to store's been there for almost since 1983, which is almost 30 years ago. And then he's been struggling for the spaces all the time. And then meanwhile, last 30 years, there are the slight increase in population and decrease in the crime rates. And then there are some.
Do you have anything supporting it? Do you have anything supporting the increase in population or the crime?
Increase, it's just slightly increased. I don't have it with me, but I gave you the decrease in crime statistics. I submitted, but it was not drastically. And plus, I like to emphasize it that there are 3 new apartment housings are built. About 474 apartments are building up within a half-mile radius, and they will bring another populations increased. The reason being is that the current store is really old, and then he's been there since 2008, and he's been struggling for the spaces. He tried to carry more kosher product and then New York wines, but he does not have enough space for it. And the new location is it's a corner building with a high visibility. It has show windows around it, and then he can display a variety of wines for the clients. And they will benefit to the neighbors and the customers for more selections. And also, he's planning to give out the wine tasting for the new products every week or every other week, whatever it's available. And then there will also benefits to the customers and neighbors.
I see only $10,000 investment here. Who's doing the build-out?
Who's doing the build-out?
Which one? The building? You
Building,
mean?
the construction.
Construction, yeah, because I sent the pictures. So they always, right now, they build almost the 2012, 22, they always come in the market, I think, yeah. So.
The condition of the building is pretty new, and they're
Yeah,
very clean. And then I only show that they just put up shelves and then build the counters on it. That cost about $10,000. Excuse me?
The landlord did that, or you did that?
No, we're gonna do it, putting up the shelves.
I see. I understand. Okay. Sorry, I cut you off.
Are you ready to vote then?
I think so, yeah.
All right, Commissioner
Yeah,
Fan?
also-
The members are to vote.
Also, Mr. Chen, on the list. I'm sorry.
Mr. Yu.
Yes.
The members are going to vote.
Okay.
Since when have you owned the store?
2008.
2008.
Since
He doesn't have
2008.
any single violations.
Okay. All right. Given that it will be a better shopping experience, I'm going to vote to approve.
Commissioner Ford?
The closest store, I see their sales have been declining over the past couple of years. The next closest store has pretty much been up and down, kind of flat with a bump in 2020 like everybody else. I'm not sure that I see the need to increase the store to this amount at this location, so I'm going to vote to deny.
Chairman Bradley?
I'm going to vote to approve. He's actually moving a little bit, I believe, further away, correct?
Yes.
From the other stores, the store is going to be 1,500 square feet retail approximately, which is pretty much double the size of the former one. So I think there's public convenience, as Commissioner Fan pointed out, it would be a better shopping experience, so I'm going to vote to approve.
Thank you.
Next item, 2695.
Good luck.
RUBIROSA 8407 Corp. 2695, RUBIROSA 8407 Corp.
Thomas Burt from the law office of Stacy L. Weiss, here for the client, RUBIROSA 8407 Corp. And the licensee is here with me, Mr. Pena Abreu. Okay. So this license application admittedly was a mess. We didn't prepare the application. And there were a significant number of problems with the application. But I think we have resolved them all. So Chairman Bradley brought up the fact that there was a discrepancy between the community board notice, the application, and the 500-foot hearing questionnaire. So the community board notice asked for recorded music, DJ, jukebox, karaoke, and live music. The license application asked for the same, recorded music, DJ, jukebox, karaoke, and live music. However, mistaken information was placed on the 500-foot hearing questionnaire, and that's already taken place, so there's nothing I can do about that. Now, the community board stipulation was not signed. I have submitted a signed and notarized copy of the community board stipulation. A letter from the previous owner was referenced by the members, and the previous owner blames the cause of his license suspension on the applicant. Now, the applicant was working for him at that time. The applicant was in training. He was learning the business. He was going to purchase the business, and he was an employee, a paid employee of the business. However, he had no experience in the business. I mean, it's not right to...
Which he didn't disclose to us on the application.
Right. Okay, now
So now you're disclosing. Now that we found out, you're
I
disclosing.
disclosed
Now
that
that we
to you.
found out. Can I speak?
Sure.
Now that we found out, you're disclosing it.
Yes, absolutely true.
Okay, I got it.
Okay.
So he was there and managing the business while all those disciplinary cases happened.
No, I wasn't managing, I was an employee.
He says he wasn't the manager.
But he was there.
He was there. He was training. He was going to buy the business. He didn't have experience in the business. He was learning the business.
Every Severio was my mentor. He's the one that was training me. He was showing me everything. He did everything wrong.
He says that the licensee and the seller was his mentor, and he was training him. So he was present too.
Wasn't confident to tell us that earlier.
No,
Right,
Aurelia
and
was
the
the one
person
that-
who's your mentor wrote to us saying we shouldn't give it to him, so that's something.
After he
Yeah,
got
why would-
COVID.
Why would he do
Well,
that?
he took
all of these-
$128,000.
Yeah, I'm shocked. He took the money and
$126,000.
then-
I'm sorry.
I don't know what
Yeah.
happened.
I mean, he wanted to blame his bad behavior on the applicant, but he took the applicant's $126,000 and wrote a letter to you saying, don't give the applicant a liquor license? Okay, so.
I don't know.
The individual preparing the application did not include the fact that the applicant worked there. And you found out about it, and I corrected that. I submitted an amended employment history, okay? And there was a question as to whether or not the purchase price of $126,000 had been paid. I've submitted a bill of sale showing that it's been paid in full. The term of the lease that was submitted did not cover the term of the license. I've submitted an amended lease, and the term of the lease is extended to 2027. And it was mentioned at the last meeting, it was mentioned that the money that should have gone toward the suspension was going to someone else. Well, that's not really the case. The money that was paid to the applicant as a salaried employee had no bearing on whether or not the licensee paid his civil penalties. So I think we've corrected everything, but I'm sure you have some questions.
I don't, actually.
Are we ready to vote on the request for reconsideration?
Yes.
I am,
All right, Commissioner Fan?
I vote no.
Commissioner Ford?
I would vote yes on consideration, recon.
Chairman Bradley?
I'm voting no. I mean, all he's done is basically completely confirm that there were enormous omissions from this application, the biggest being that the individual who's applying worked at a place that we suspended and had a significant adverse history while he worked there.
And he blames that
I
on
mean, so I don't see any reason to report him because now he's decided to come clean about his employment history when that employment history was asked directly on the application. So I vote no to recon.
Okay. Next item, 2643, H&L Liquors.
That was summary, right, Adam?
Yeah.
Mr. Lynn, are you here for the applicant?
Yes, that's correct. For the opposition.
Why would that guy take?
For the opposition, is the applicant here?
Yes, hi, my name is Yin Xu. I'm the representative of the applicant today.
Take 126, because you notice I didn't give us a cancel check.
Is the applicant here, or just a few?
No, he's not here.
The applicant is not here?
No.
No, I'm the representative.
Well, I don't know that that's gonna do it.
I don't know why you would
Why is he,
bother.
where is the applicant?
So because I don't know, he should show up.
They didn't show up?
No, she didn't
She
know.
doesn't know that he needs to show
I
up.
didn't know, yeah.
Well, he was here, or she was, is it a he or she? They
It's
came,
he.
they came when the application was on the first time, right?
No.
Did we not know that?
Oh, no.
We usually require it.
All right, well, we can adjourn it and wait for them, or just say no.
Well, no, this is in May, we weren't doing appearances.
Okay. All right, should we just do it?
Yeah.
Okay, let's just do it. Go ahead, man.
So who will speak first? He will.
It's a reconsideration, so the applicant speaks
You
first.
need to explain to the members
Okay.
why they should reconsider their decision to disapprove it.
Okay, so for this application, first I would like to mention, because this store is unique, because for this area, the Asian population increased very quickly recent years. So, and right now, the Asian population is over 10% in this area, but there's no liquor store serving for the Asian wines or liquors. So that's why the applicant would like to open this store and they mainly serve for the Asian wines or liquors. So I think I have attached a list of the wines and the liquors they are going to sell previously. And so he said the nearest liquor store is about 700 feet away. But for that store, they only serving some foreign wines and liquors. So, and he said for the Asian people, they cannot find any wine or liquor in this area. So this is why his store is very unique. And also for the previous decision, the examiner said the applicant still got job. That's true, because he said the application period is so long. So that's why he's still working in other store. So once his license got approved, he will quit his current job and focus on his own store. And also they got one issues they mentioned in the decision. They said the display area is very, very small. It's only about 150 square feet for the display. But the owner told me because they only put some samples in the showcase. So that's why the displaying area is limited. But they got a large storage area.
Okay.
Are we ready to vote on the request for reconsideration?
Yes.
All right, Commissioner Fan.
I think I considered everything that she said, so I'm going to vote no on reconsideration.
Commissioner Ford.
I'm going to vote yes.
Jennifer.
I'm gonna vote no. I think, everything she brought up, I considered the first time this came before us. I don't think she's offered anything new.
The request has been denied. The request for reconsideration has been denied.
Oh, okay. Okay, got it. Okay, thank you.
Next item, 2734, ESTHER HADASSA Corp.
What number, I'm sorry, Tom?
2734. You want to go ahead and put your name on the record, please?
Yes, hi. My name is Marek Shred of RSNYC, appearing here for Anna Prince, who couldn't be here today, the applicant.
Where is she?
She's out of town. She had a previously booked trip, and this fell, unfortunately.
Do you want to hold it over until she can come?
If you want to see her, definitely.
What'd you say?
Yes. If her presence is required.
Will she be
yes.
back by 10:27?
She'll be back in a week, so yes, 10:27.
Okay.
All right, October 27th.
It is.
Thank you.
Thank you.
2615, Pinto Garden.
I'm sorry, I was writing. What'd you say?
2615.
2615.
Hi, my name is Sam Park representative, Savingung 8, doing business at Pinto Garden, transferring the on-premise liquor. I'm here with the owners, Tier Wang and then Kobe. We are operating since 2016 and then until now, and then
Hold on, just,
yes.
There's one principal, right?
Yes, that's one principal.
Right, okay.
And
who's the other person?
He's the employee, the Kobe.
The what?
The employee called
Acting manager. Acting manager.
Okay.
Are you using the backyard?
Yes.
Is that licensed?
No, license, they surrendered it.
Are you? Yeah.
Oh, they're on a temp. So is it? So it's not part of the application.
No, again, this gets down into the notifications, whether they intend to use it on a permanent basis or a temporary basis. If they intend to use it on a temporary basis, we do not require that it's filed.
Oh, because of COVID rules. So, all right.
So what's the ownership history here? You've had multiple partners on this business. Can you just roughly outline
Since 2016.
So, Kobe used to be a manager and business partner, but I kind of like bought him out. I'm a chef and a restaurant owner, the only one person, but he helping me operating because he has more like friends, customers. I'm the one who's doing the kitchens. That's why I still did him, but I'm the only one owner.
I see. So he's COPSAC?
Yes.
Okay.
So in the stipulations, it's checked off that you will operate the backyard garden for dining purposes only. That's what I'm reading, correct?
Yes.
Do you realize it's not on this application?
It's not on it. What does it mean?
That means he can use the backyard, the garden.
Right now you're using the backyard based on the COVID benefits that we gave people, that if you had contiguous space, you could use it.
Actually, excuse me. Actually not. Like we've been operating with the garden like since 2016. The front door.
No, you're not listening to me. You filed a new application. In that application, you asked for certain areas to be licensed. the backyard is not on the application?
Because it was in the COVID, so we're not using the outside garden right now. And then because we are using only inside.
No, we use it. We always use that, but the front.
I get it. It probably was on your other application, but it's not on this one.
So we can demand.
No, this one, they say it's not on this, of the front, not
It's
back.
the front that we had the problem. The front, which is the pavement.
You're not, sir, you're not, I don't think you're understanding.
Sir, so there is no outside area on your application for permanent use. If you are using municipal space under the New York City Open Restaurants Program, you have that on a temporary basis.
Yeah, first the front sitting area we moved, and then backyard in the garden we are using it.
I'm not following any.
No, so when you filed this application,
Yes.
it only covers inside. You did not apply for anything outside, front or back.
We're not saying you can't either, we're just saying you did.
I think that.
This one.
Yes.
You already said
Yeah.
that.
We are using the backyard also.
Which is, I mean, I think this is the what may be considered because of the floor plan. It looks like the inside because they have the cover, but it's the.
No, there's a question in the application that says, are you using any outside areas?
No.
No, we not.
And you said no.
Yeah.
But you are.
It's,
garden is
the garden is the fully covered.
Fully
so
covered.
So it's not the outside. It
So
looks
your
like the garden
parking
because
is not
of the
outdoors,
roof.
it's enclosed as part of the premises?
Yes, it's enclosed.
And
It
it's
looks like
described
garden.
in the community board letter
As well.
as rear yard garden, and it has stipulations for
Right,
the
because
hours.
your community board stipulation says you are using an outside area, the garden. So is it outside or is it inside?
No, it doesn't say outside, it just says rear yard garden.
But,
Yeah,
It doesn't say outside. But what
If-
they're
if
saying
I
is
may-
covered.
Yeah, it was all fully covered in the backyard.
Okay, but does it have sides to it?
May I speak? If I may speak, I'm the manager. The complaint from the neighborhood is like, the add-on, like, for the COVID-19 outside. They complain that, we take over like the walking, like, pathway. And then after the complaint, we totally remove that, even though we've done it.
All right, the backyard area has a cover. Does it have sides to it?
61 and 62.
Does it have sides? Is it enclosed on the side?
Yes.
Yes.
Show it to me.
Yeah, it's
And you have
covered.
and you have a certificate of occupancy for the,
Yes, we do.
that area?
Yes, sir.
Then why are we calling it a garden?
Well, I can see why,
Because
I can see why they call it a garden, but it is enclosed.
Yes,
We
because
just do like, the decoration look like, the garden.
like a fake flower and the
Yeah.
plastic cover on the roof.
Yeah.
So that's why they got
Yeah.
the natural sunlight. So that's why they thought it's a garden.
Then why are the community board complaining about it?
They probably
They complain about the sidewalks, sir.
when the COVID in the winter.
Yeah,
so
no, we
build
understand.
a
No, we
cover.
understand that. But that's like taken care of, right? You removed
Yes.
it and now it's.
Right
it's-
away, like at the first week that they complain, we call contractor to remove within like a day.
Okay. And you want now 11 PM across the board?
Yes.
Yes, but we close early because of the COVID now this day.
Okay. Do you guys have questions?
No, as long as it's all those stipulations are.
Can we have a moment for me to consult with counsel?
Sure thing. So the members could take a brief recess to discuss a legal issue with counsel, and then we'll resume, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, we are back on the record on item 2615 after a brief conference with council to discuss a legal issue, and we'll go from there. Are the members ready to,
Yes.
all right, vote? All right. Commissioner Fan.
I'm gonna vote to approve 11 PM across the board, background, recorded music only. As limited amplification as possible because it's just bounces.
12,
I know, but they only want 11.
Okay.
I'm okay with the bathroom waiver.
Commissioner Ford.
11 p.m. across the board, bathroom waiver, no, what did you say, recorded music only? Background?
Only background.
Background music only. And the rear area has to stay, the roof has to stay enclosed.
Yes.
At all times.
Actually, we,
all times.
yes. All the time.
Yes.
So I'm the community. I'm gonna vote to approve as well. I'm gonna stick with the community board stipulations. They gave you till 12 a.m. I realize you want to close at 11, but you may want to go to 12 at some point.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I'm gonna give you 12. The rear yard windows on the roof have to remain shut. All the windows in the back have to remain shut at all times. And then everything else is agreed to with the community board through stipulations, so those should become part of the license.
With the closing time.
And yes, I would go to 12 as well.
Commissioner Ford.
Thank
12
you.
as well. That's what
All
the
right.
stip say.
Thank
And
you so
don't
much.
go back, listen, don't go back now and change your sidewalk seating and make
No,
it large again, because if we start hearing about it, you're gonna cause trouble for us, which will indeed cause trouble for you.
We're not doing that. Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
I'm sure Mr. Parker
Thank you.
will advise you.
All right, the next item, 2739 BJ0857 LLC. This is yours, Mr. Parker.
Look at the ripping up.
Yes. Sam Park representative, BJ0857 LLC, doing business at Slim Mac Cafe, applying for restaurant wide license. And Mr. Jan Balaka is the owner, is not currently here, is out of the county. It's hour of operation is Monday to Saturday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Sundays, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
This is an enforcement matter, isn't it?
No, 2739.
Oh, I'm on the wrong. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's Monday to Friday, what?
Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Sundays, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Actually,
5
we had
p.m.
we had a conditional letter approval 2017, but we couldn't make but denied reason for didn't complete the condition for letter of no objections. But so we are back into reapply for applications with all the document right now.
Okay.
Does this need a restroom waiver as well?
Yes.
So what's the issue with the restroom waiver and 75 people?
It does get into licensing that if you have to see a set more or less, licensing has a.
So, yeah, this could have been, if there were no other issue, licensing could have signed off on the waiver.
Oh, but because the CO is 75, it had to come. Okay, then I'm good.
Okay. I'm going to vote to approve 5 p.m. across the board. Recorded background music only. Bathroom waiver, it's okay.
Thank you.
I approve on the same conditions.
Chairman
Thank you.
Bradley.
I approve on the same conditions.
Thank you, board. Thank you very much.
All right. Next item we have 2694 Wines and Liquor, 14th Street, LLC.
694.
Good morning. Michael James appearing for the applicant. I have with me Joanne Jacks. If you remember, this application was denied back during COVID when we had virtual hearings. We weren't able to appear in person, so we're here for the first time in person. I believe that there were some issues that we had to clarify on the application in regards to the investment, and we've clarified those issues. I've included her additional bank statements and an additional loan that she received approval for. I see some confusion, though.
I'm wondering where she suddenly got $30,000 that she didn't have before.
She applied for the loan. So that was a loan that she applied for after she was denied. She was waiting to apply for it once she got approved because the decision. But based on the decision, she had to apply for it now and then showcase that she had the money available. No one wants to apply for a loan if they can't use it. It's an inquiry on your credit. And then if you get denied, it's even worse. So you want to wait until you get approval to know that you're going to actually use the money.
Oh. And where's the paperwork for the loan and the?
So I included the approval letter. That's what they provided. We asked for additional documents. I just believe that platform it's a newer platform, so that's what they provided. I tried. I definitely tried.
So all $30,000 came from a loan from a bank?
Correct. It's that the letter's in the supplemental. All 30,000 came from it, and she has 10,000 in the bank as well. So altogether, about 43,000.
James, the letter you're talking about came from HUDSON, correct?
Came from where? Upstart, yes.
HUDSON?
Upstart. Yeah, it's literally the last page of the supplemental. It should be Exhibit B. And it starts off application for ID, and then it has her personal information. It's $30,500. The use of funds start or expand a business, and then her information as well. At the bottom, it has the decision type, and it says it's approved. And I did try to get her the documents, but that's all.
Are we ready to?
No, I mean I don't. There's certain things. Did you redact this letter?
I did. It just has. I'm submitting it, and it has her personal information on it. So I was just sensitive to her personal information. It has her date of birth.
We're very sensitive to her personal information as well.
I understand that, but
So you redacted her personal information from this.
Right, because my email can be hacked. I'm not saying that it's your system, but my email can be compromised, and if I send it out to anyone, that's my liability, not yours. So I can submit it now.
I know, but
I can submit it to you without redactions. I know you have her address and her social security number. It wasn't you that I was worried about. It's just I've been.
Mr. James, what is your client's name? It appears that the application she applied for is in a slightly different name than what's on the application. Is it Joanne or Joanna?
It's Joanne. It's Joanne. It's Joanne. Correct?
Joanne, that's
Joanne.
right.
So that should be amended in the application.
Okay. All right, I'm ready now, Tom.
All right, then, on the request for reconsideration, Commissioner Fan.
Given the new banking information, there is material change, so I'll vote yes on reconsideration.
Commissioner Ford.
I will vote yes on consideration as well.
Chairman Brad.
I'm voting no on reconsideration simply because I don't. There is a change, but I voted this down primarily because of no public convenience and advantage, and there's nothing here that changed that for me.
Before we move on to the application, just want to check, is there anybody here in opposition to the actual application? All right, I didn't think so. All right. Are you ready to move forward on that, or do you want?
Sure.
All right, Commissioner Fan?
Given the change in the neighborhood in Far Walkaway, I think that there is public convenience and advantage, so I'm going to vote yes.
Commissioner
Thank you,
Ford.
Commissioner.
I missed the June 9th meeting where this was heard and denied by split decision. All the four closest stores were either licensed at the time the previous package store at this location received its license. I vote to approve. I'll just cut to the chase.
Chairman Bradley.
I'm gonna vote to deny. I still don't see public convenience and advantage. Good luck.
Thank you.
Next item, 2671, New Brothers Grocery, Inc.
2671.
71, yes.
Hi, my name is Denise. I'm here to interpret for the applicant and the clerk.
2671.
Yeah.
This is disciplinary, right?
Yes. All right, go ahead, ma'am.
My
Randy,
name
you wanna-
is Cristo Martinez, and I'm the owner of the New Brother Grocery.
So is the gambling device still there?
No, la máquina está ahí todavía, no.
No.
No. It was taken away from,
Okay. Is there something you want to say about these charges?
algo que tú quieras decir de esos dos cargos.
Que en realidad el cargo de la máquina en ningún momento sabíamos que era ilegal porque él nos aseguró que ellos tenían una licencia para eso, que ellos eran una corporación.
Okay, unfortunately, she said, the company that bring the machine over there said that they were legal and they had the right to operate in New York, and she didn't know anything about that was an illegal, device. And therefore, the machine was there for only 2 weeks after the incident took place.
All right. I don't understand how these charges could have happened before the license was issued.
Then the license was issued in 2010.
Oh, sorry, I'm misreading it. I'm at 4,000.
Commissioner Ford.
How long was the machine there? You said like 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
Who's the man you're talking to?
This is the person that was there, the clerk that was there at the time when the two incidents took place.
Oh, all
The
right.
applicant,
He's the employee. Okay.
He's the employee.
Okay.
Da tu nombre.
Hi, mi nombre es Wilfrido Rodríguez. I'm the clerk in the Brother Grocery.
He is, his name is Wilfrido Rodriguez, and he's the clerk at the New Brother Grocery.
Okay, thank you.
All right. With the sale to minor include, I'm at 4,000 as well.
Chairman Bradley.
4,000.
Right. So the penalty is $4,000. You will get a letter in the mail.
Okay.
Okay, with instructions, and you'll have 45 days from the date of that letter to pay the penalty.
Okay.
Okay.
And thank you for showing up. You probably saved yourself a couple $1,000s by coming here today, so.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we need 5 times.
All right, we're going to take a brief recess, and we'll be right back. All right, we are back on the record after a brief recess. We're going to resume the calendar. We have 2669 and 2670, Bella Deli Market Corp. I had somebody sign in for that. They signed in for 2670, but it's 2669 and 70.
I can make it easy for them.
I going once, twice, three, sold, okay.
I'll take cancel and bond.
Commissioner Ford?
Accept.
Chairman Bradley?
Cancel and bond, right?
2706, Fonda Nolita LLC.
I'm sorry, 26.
2706. Mr. Ferrucci's going to have a stream here.
Good afternoon, Donald Bernstein on behalf of the licensee. This is a Tacombe branded restaurant. There are actually 9 related cases consecutively 02706 through 02714. Each of these were filed with a failure to disclose some minority investors. We self-reported this to licensing. I spoke with Deputy Commissioner Roberts about this, I think early this year, indicated that there was an issue with all of these. Tacombe has about 10 restaurants in the city of New York. We then promptly filed corporate change applications for all of them. They were all approved, and the ownership now, as disclosed to and approved by the authority, is correct. Licensing referred this to counsel's office for disciplinary action. These cases ensued. We have negotiated with counsel's office a total of a $15,000 monetary penalty for the 9 cases. Some of them carry a CNC of $3,000, others $1,000. The difference is the ones that had the $3,000 penalty failed to disclose that there was a holding company that wholly owned the licensee. The ones for $1,000 had disclosed the holding company. So we would request that the board approve that. I can go through each one. I don't know if you need to call each one individually.
Yes, we do.
Okay. Can I just ask one question about all these put together?
Yes.
This is a big company. How did this happen?
That's a good question, Mr. Chairman. The first number of applications were filed by a different office, and as far as I can tell, my client was under the impression that minority investors did not have to be disclosed. I don't know the source of that information. By the time we had a full opportunity to review everything and we realized that there were in fact minority investors that we did not know about initially, we realized there was a problem. I don't know if they were misinformed or they just misunderstood. It's hard to answer that question, but they fully understand now the requirements.
Okay, go ahead, Tom.
All right, so 2706, which is $3,000.
Yes.
Commissioner Ford?
Yes.
Chairman Bradley?
Yes.
2707, which is $1,000.
Accept.
Commissioner Ford?
Accept.
Chairman Bradley?
Yes.
2708, which is $3,000.
3,000 accept.
Commissioner Ford?
Accept.
Chairman Bradley?
Accept.
2709, which is $3,000.
3,000 accept.
Commissioner Ford?
3,000 accept.
Chairman Bradley?
Accept.
2710, which is $1,000.
1,000 accept.
Commissioner Ford?
1,000 accept.
Chairman Bradley?
Yeah, accept.
2711, which is $1,000.
1,000 accept.
Commissioner Ford?
1,000 accept.
And Chairman Bradley?
Accept.
2712, which is also $1,000.
1,000 accept.
Commissioner Ford?
1,000 accept.
Chairman Bradley?
Accept.
2713, which is $1,000.
1,000 accept.
Commissioner Ford?
1,000 accept.
Chairman Bradley?
Accept.
2714, $1,000.
1,000 accept.
Commissioner Ford?
1,000 accept.
Chairman Bradley?
Accept.
All right, Mr.
Thank you.
Bernstein, you also have 2700, which is 129 Mercer Street Corporation. So-
Yes, 190, yes. This is a disciplinary for sale to a minor. I just want to offer a fact in mitigation because my client has hired security for the purpose of checking IDs, and they were very upset when this occurred. Apparently, a undercover officer came into the premises. Her ID was checked. She was not 21. And in the premises, she said that she was going to the restaurant portion, not the bar. The way they had this set up is if you're going to the restaurant and you're not 21 or over, security informs the waitstaff that that person is not of age. The young woman or the woman walked towards the restaurant and then turned and walked to the bar area. She said she was not going to the bar area, that she was going to the restaurant. The bartender, thinking that she had been checked by security, started to serve her a beer. As soon as security saw that, because they were able to see it, they ran over. I am told they actually grabbed the beer away before this person had an opportunity to consume any, not that they would have anyway. It's not a legal defense. We understand that, which is why we proposed a CNC, but we do offer that in mitigation. They only had one other minor violation. Other than that, since 2012, they had not had any. So I would ask if you would consider a fine less than the $4,000.
I will go to 2,500.
Commissioner Ford?
I will go to 3,000.
Chairman Bradley?
I'll go to 2,500.
Thank you.
Next item is 2633, 812 Broadway, Inc.
Hey, Tom?
Yeah?
Why don't you make me, on the last one, 2,500 as well, make it unanimous. Sorry.
You hit, you know, I hit it. Cross out, so.
Good afternoon, Frank Palillo. Is it often compromise before you?
Which one? What's the number again, Tom?
This is 2633.
This is one employee, no mask. I'll go to 1,500.
Commissioner Ford?
I'm at 1,500 as well.
Chairman Bradley?
1,500.
Thank you.
2672, Bowery Tech Restaurant, LLC.
I'll accept 5,000.
Commissioner Ford?
5,000 accept.
Chairman Bradley?
Accept.
2617, Gita Ganesh Ram Restaurant Corp. It's an alteration application.
Yeah, members, this originally came before you because of opposition to the community board. From the community board, we had received a subsequent letter from the application representative, Mr. Palillo. We are asking that you return this back to licensing for review at our level.
Back to licensing.
Commissioner Ford?
Back to licensing it
Chairman
is.
Bradley?
Back to licensing.
2689, Cedar Restaurant Corp.
SACKETS Restaurant Corp. If I can just be heard for 2 seconds on this one. This
Sure.
licensee has been a model licensee, I believe, for somewhere between 20 and 25 years. It's a single employee in the kitchen who had his mask below his nose. This is a restaurant in the theater district that is bleeding. I'm asking for consideration as a result of this licensee's excellent record with the authority. This is a one-time occurrence, 25 years.
The improper conduct renewal is the only thing on the disciplinary history going back to 97.
I'll go to 500.
Commissioner Ford?
500.
Chairman Bradley?
500.
Thank you. See you next time.
See ya.
Bye.
2613, Zane Wine and Liquor.
Good afternoon. Dawlat Batija, Zane Wine and Liquor, 1574 Wanta Avenue, Wanta, New York.
So this is a reconsideration. What didn't we consider last time? Or what new information do you have?
I send you information, email it to you.
Statement of public.
So the email he sent before the last board meeting, you did not have, because he sent it in late. So that's what he's.
Is the one dated October 7th?
No, May 11th?
May 11 was there.
This was at the May 12th board meeting. He, according to the memo, he sent in an email on May 11th, which you didn't consider because it was past the deadline.
Yeah, so it's the one now he's emailed. It's the one now that says at the top of it, September 18, 2021. Then it's to you on May 12th. Correct, Tom?
Yeah, but that's the new thing.
I mean, sir, you're focusing on the fact that you were granted a liquor store in 2007. That was 13 years ago, which a lot of things have changed by now. I don't think any of us denied your liquor store because of you. I think it was because of the location.
Yes.
They are too far from us, no?
I can't hear him.
I said, they are too far. The stores are too far.
That you may believe that, but we didn't. And that's why we denied it. So the fact that we did not do this based on your character or fitness, we did it based on the location that you chose. So I don't know that this what I'm trying to say is this: the fact that we approved you previously doesn't really mean anything because we would have approved you. We just wouldn't approve this location.
So the application, the location is not too far from them each other?
There were too many liquor stores in this area, I think, is what we decided.
Yeah, the closest store is right down the same road. And didn't respond either. And the next two stores had declining sales. Only store that had increasing numbers was the furthest.
Yeah, Nassau County is a very crowded zone for liquor stores. So you may want to find a different location and come back again, because your fitness and character is obviously sufficient. You had a conditional approval from 2007, but just the landscape of Nassau County has changed enormously since then.
So what to do?
Because that was 15 years ago. So, you know, find a different location and try to make an argument that there is public convenience.
Is the same application or different application, new application?
I think you need to find a different location and file a new application if this is the business you want to get into.
Got to find your place, find some place that's not served as well. Anyway, ready
So
to
then
vote?
on the request for reconsideration,
I vote no.
Commissioner Ford,
I have to vote no as well.
Chairman Bradley.
Yeah, I'm going to vote no as well. We denied this on public convenience and advantage. The applicant was obviously a good applicant, but the location based on the surrounding stores and their sales numbers and how close they were indicate that this area does not need another store.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Jonathan, I have nothing else signed in. Do you have anything else there?
Oh, we're done.
Okay, great, thanks. All right.
Thanks, Jonathan.
Proceed to the rest of the items. 2614, it's a new grocery store beer and wine products license.
I'm going to suggest we hold this over and ask her to come in. 10:27.
Commissioner Ford?
Over to 1029?
10:27.
You can come in on 10:29, but we will not be here.
You'll be here.
I won't be here.
Yeah.
Are you going to hold it over to 10:29?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Just checking.
All right, next item is 2619. It's request for declaratory ruling. We do have a request from the person making the request to hold it over until November 10th.
All right, November 10th.
Commissioner Ford?
November 10th?
Yep.
Yes. And we will be here.
November 10, I will hold it over to November 10 as well. Can we get rid of this, or do we need to save that?
You'll get another, 2620. It's a Matter went to hearing, both charges were sustained.
I'm at 9,500.
2,500?
9,500.
Oh, 95, sorry. Commissioner Ford.
Unless there's a reason why I think it's 9,500.
The only reason not to be at 9,500 would be
It's so close, they
No, there's no evidence that there was notice
There was no evidence that there was notice.
after the first sale. Correct, Adam? Am I wrong? Or Mark, am I wrong there? That they didn't make an arrest after the first sale? Correct. Okay. So if you want to go lower, that would be the only reason. But I'm probably going to stick with you.
Okay, sounds good.
I was gonna do, 6,500.
Chairman Bradley.
I'm at 95.
Then make it 95, might as well make it unanimous.
Next item is 2621. I understand there's a request from the licensee's attorney to open defaults and back to counsel's office.
Correct.
So back to counsel's office.
Yep.
Next item is 2622. Matter that went to hearing, charges were sustained, some were dismissed.
So I think council asked for this to go back too, correct,
Right.
Mark?
Yes. Yep.
We need to adjourn it for 4 weeks.
They
Okay, so-
they want to,
November 10?
Wait, so
November 10.
you want it held over?
yes.
Yes.
They want to, council's office is they want to address one of the dismissal to the board, so 11:10.
Commissioner Ford, you're good with that? Next item, 2623. Pleading default.
I'm at 2,000.
Commissioner Ford.
I was at 2,500.
Chairman Bradley.
2,500.
2624, 2625. And they went to hearing, both charges were sustained.
Cancel and bond.
Commissioner Ford.
Cancel and bond.
Chairman Bradley.
Cancel and bond.
2626, pleading default.
So why is this not together with the summary suspension? Or was that already
I'm sorry,
done?
this was the summary suspension.
Yeah, they get summaried on this.
Oh, this is the summary suspension?
That was at a time when we were
I see.
doing a lot.
Which one are we on now, 26,
But
26?
this is place is closed.
2626.
Okay.
So it's
So
a
cancel and
pleading
bond.
default, the license expired.
And the council has indicated that the place is closed.
Okay, just cancel.
Cancel and bond. Hey, 20.
Cancel and bond.
2624 and 2625, that was cancel and bond as well?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
2627 and 2628, $3,000 offer.
Accept.
Accept.
2629, pleading default.
Business is closed, right?
No.
No,
Not that we know.
Boxers
It
is
could be,
not
could be.
closed.
I've been there over 100 times.
Yeah, absolutely not. I'm at 1,000.
I'm sorry, what was that?
1,000.
Commissioner Ford?
Where do I get businesses closed, unable to forward?
It's a good place.
It says premises was vacant. 2629,
Yes.
it says return of February 30th, the premises was vacant, UPS unable to forward, UPS.
Oh, maybe it did.
For our purposes, it was,
The license is still active.
yeah, it's still active.
Okay. So what did you guys say, 1,000?
Yep.
Okay, 1,000.
1,000.
2630, $1,500 offer.
I'm gonna go to 750.
Commissioner Ford?
30. 750.
Chairman Bradley.
750.
2631, pleading default.
750.
Commissioner Ford?
2631,
Yes.
I had 1500. They just opened.
Chairman Bradley.
I had 1,500 as well.
2632, pleading default.
1,500.
Commissioner Ford?
1500.
Chairman Bradley.
1,500.
2634, a pleading default.
This is expired. Did they renew or no?
No. Not as of yesterday.
And I think we're dismissing charge 1 too. Doesn't contain a data violation.
Well, the pleading doesn't have the date in
The
it.
pleading doesn't.
It's in the system.
Okay.
What happens is the prosecutor enters the date in the system.
All right.
Also has to enter the date in the.
I'm at 500.
I'm sorry, what's that?
500.
Commissioner Ford?
I had 1,000.
500.
2635, pleading default.
It's the third sale. I'm at 10,000.
Commissioner Ford?
10,000.
Chairman Bradley.
10,000.
2636, pleading default.
I'm at cancel and bond.
Commissioner Ford?
I was at revoke and bond.
Chairman Bradley.
Oh, because it was so new?
Yep.
Yeah, I'll revoke it too. Revoke and bond.
2637, $2,000.
2,000 accept.
Commissioner Ford?
2,000 accept.
Chairman Bradley. 2638, pleading default.
I'm at cancel and bond.
Commissioner Ford?
Cancel and bond.
Chairman Bradley.
Cancel and bond.
2639, went to hearing, all three charges were sustained.
4,000.
Commissioner Ford?
I got up very early this morning to listen to the
To watch the video.
yes.
And it was pretty crystal clear.
Yeah, there was a lot of squelching going on here and there. They finally had to leave and hook up, but I'm satisfied it was clearly understood what was going on. So 4,000.
Chairman Bradley.
4,000.
2640, $1,500.
1,500.
Commissioner Ford?
1,500.
Chairman Bradley.
1,500.
2641, $2,500.
25 accept.
Commissioner Ford?
2,500 accept.
And Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
2642 is a pleading default.
This was returned to sender. So back to council.
Probably because I think it was the same time as it was placed in safekeeping. I think the date of the mailings were on the same time as the license was placed in safekeeping.
But they also sent one to the residents and
Right,
the
yep,
attorney.
mhm.
So what do you want to do? Just set it. Just set it fine.
Yeah.
2642, correct?
Yes.
I'm at 2,500.
Commissioner Ford?
I will do 2,500 as well.
Chairman Bradley.
2,500.
2644 is $1,500.
1,500 accept.
Commissioner Ford?
1,500 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
2645, $3,500.
35 accept.
Commissioner Ford?
Accept.
And Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
2646 and 47, $2,500.
2,500.
Commissioner Ford?
Accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
2648, $2,500.
I'm actually going to go to 1,500. This looks high to me.
Yeah,
Ford?
I'm at 1,500 as well.
Chairman Bradley.
1,500.
2649, $1,500.
2 employees. I will go to 1,000.
Commissioner Ford?
I'll do 1,000 as well.
Chairman Bradley?
1,000.
2650, 51, and 52 is a default at hearing.
Cancel and bond.
Commissioner Ford?
This was actually a refusal at hearing.
Yeah.
650, license, you refuse to participate in hearing, offer any defense. Yes, cancel and bond.
Chairman Bradley?
Cancel and bond.
2653, $1,500.
I'll accept 1,500.
Commissioner Ford?
Accept.
Chairman Bradley?
Accept.
2654 is a default at pleading.
3,500.
Commissioner Ford?
I'll do 3,500.
Chairman Bradley?
So we have 125, 135?
No, I thought you said 35.
I said 25.
Oh, 25, I thought you said 35.
Hang on a second. 25 to 30.
I'll go to 25 too.
All right, 25.
2655, $20,000.
I'll accept.
Commissioner Ford?
I'll accept.
Chairman Bradley?
Accept.
2656, $2,500.
Withdraw charge 2, I'll accept 2,500.
Commissioner Ford?
Accept.
Actually, do we have to send this back for a new offer? Because they pled to two
No.
charges at 25.
I think
We
they
can still accept
I
it?
believe,
they consented to it.
Yeah, the attorney representing licensee consented to the.
Oh,
same-
okay.
there was a letter received yesterday afternoon from the attorney confirming the CNC with the withdrawal of the charge.
Got it. I will accept 2,500.
2657, $7,500.
7,500 accept.
Commissioner Ford?
7,500 accept.
Chairman Bradley?
Accept.
2658, $2,000.
2,000 accept.
Commissioner Ford?
2,000 accept.
Chairman Bradley?
Accept.
2659, $2,500.
2,500 accept.
Commissioner Ford?
Accept.
Chairman Bradley?
Accept.
2660, $3,000.
3,000 accept.
Commissioner Ford?
Accept.
And Chairman Bradley?
Accept.
2661, $10,000.
10,000 accept.
Commissioner Ford?
Accept.
And Chairman Bradley?
Accept.
2662, $7,500.
This is a really terrible start. I'll accept 7,500, but
Commissioner Ford?
I'll accept.
Chairman Bradley?
Accept.
2663 and 64, it's an offer of cancel and bond.
cancel and bond.
Accept.
Chairman Bradley?
Accept.
2665, $5,500.
55 accept.
Commissioner Ford?
Accept.
Chairman Bradley?
Accept.
2666, $1,500.
This is actually really serious. Shots fired outside.
Yeah, there weren't any more
And then
details.
the front door is locked with patrons inside.
Doesn't say what time, doesn't say how many people.
Not really.
This is outside the premises, so I mean,
I'll accept 1,500, but it's not
Commissioner
good.
Ford?
1,500 accept.
Chairman Bradley?
Accept.
2667, $3,000.
I'll accept 3,000.
Commissioner Ford?
3,000 accept.
Mark, why is this so low?
It's old.
This is a co-op buying.
Yeah, I agree.
Rock solid.
100%.
And then he tries to talk us out of one of them, and he says that the driver delivered 25 cases to the wrong address. What about the drivers that delivered all the other stuff to the wrong address?
I agree with you.
Is there something I'm missing? Or that we're both, I guess Commissioner Fan and I are both missing?
Jerry just said it's an old claim.
Is that what you said? Can we put this over just so we look into this?
Sure.
We sure can if you want to.
Because I don't want to set a precedent that we're taking $3,000 on these things if it's,
Yeah,
I mean, I'd like to take the store, to be honest with you.
We all good with that?
Yep.
All right.
1027.
Over to 10?
1027. All right, 2668 is a no contest plea.
I'm at 20,000.
Commissioner Ford?
I'm at 20,000, but we're dismissing charge number 1.
Yeah, withdraw. Not dismissed, their
Withdraw.
counsel's office
withdraw.
asking to withdraw, yeah.
All right, Chairman Bradley?
What were they both at, 20?
20,000.
20,000.
2673 and 74 is the CNC for $10,000.
Withdraw charges 19, 21, 32, 36, 37. I'll accept 10,000.
Commissioner Ford?
Accept.
Chairman Bradley?
Did you ever get the answer to this?
Yeah, so we did issue permits there for Hero Cup after the license had expired.
Oh, it wasn't while this stuff was pending?
No.
Okay. All right, I'll accept.
2675 is a $25,000 offer. Which will bring their total up to $31,000. So
Since 2018. Well, they're actually closed.
Cancel and
They
bond.
surrendered. I will take the 25, right?
You want to take the 25?
Yeah.
25,000.
Take the 25.
Chair Bradley?
Because we're likely, if we don't get it, it's canceled anyway, right?
Revoked.
It's what?
The revoked if you don't get it.
Okay, yeah, I'll take the 25.
2676 and 77 is a $3,500 offer.
I'll take the 35.
Accept.
Chairman?
Accept.
2678 and 79, cancel and bond.
Cancel and bond.
Cancel and bond.
Chairman Bradley?
Cancel and bond.
2680, $6,500.
This is, I don't know why this is 65, but I'm going to go to 3,000.
Commissioner Ford?
Yeah, that is high.
No history, but no food, but probably a good thing from looking at that inspection. 3,000.
Chairman Bradley?
3,000.
2681, sale to minor that got sustained after hearing.
$3,000.
Commissioner Ford?
That would have been a settlement.
Yeah. I'll go with 3,000 as well.
Chairman Bradley?
I'll go 4,000. Place is shut, I don't know.
2682, case went to hearing, all charges are dismissed.
Oh, dismiss.
Commissioner Ford?
Dismiss.
Chairman Bradley?
I'll dismiss all the charges.
2683, $15,000 CNC.
I'll accept.
Commissioner Ford?
I'll accept as well.
And Chairman Bradley?
Accept.
2684, $1,500.
I'll accept 1,500.
Commissioner Ford?
1,500 accept.
And Chairman Bradley?
Accept.
2687 and 2688 was held over for the licensee to appear. The licensee was notified.
26.
I'm going to cancel and bond.
2687 and 88. Yeah.
Commissioner Ford, you ready?
2687, 2688.
Yes.
So they offered 10,000. We held it over for them to appear.
You want that to appear, right?
They think they're a membership club, and we need to clarify what is exactly going on here, so.
So cancel and bond, I guess.
Chairman Bradley?
Cancel and bond.
2690, offer of 7,500. Commissioner Fanman, you ready?
This looks high to me. I'm going to go to 4,500.
Commissioner Ford?
I'm gonna stick with the 7,500. I mean, they haven't had food since, I don't know if they ever have, so they've been in violation for a long time. And I'm also gonna ask enforcement to do a spot check on them because, what do they send us? A picture of a microwave, that could be in my kitchen.
How'd they get to your kitchen?
I would ask that question.
No, but it's, the microwave takes up the whole frame, I get
He
it.
said it could be in his
I'll
kitchen.
go with Commissioner Ford, same fine and spot check, please.
Yep.
2691, 2600.
I'm gonna counter it, 3,600.
Commissioner Ford,
I was countering at 3,100 with the discount.
I'll do 3,100.
2692 and 93, it's offer of $6,000.
I'm gonna counter at 10,000. It's 5 dates.
Commissioner Ford,
I concur with Commissioner Fan, it's 5 dates, but a couple of them were back in 2018, 2019, so I'm just gonna accept.
10,000, counter at 10,000.
2696, request for reconsideration of a package store.
We can hold it over, I'm gonna vote no.
I was at no anyway.
All right, no.
Commissioner Ford,
Hang on a second, which one is this, 2694?
2696.
6. No, deny.
Okay. 2697, $1,500.
1,500 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
2698, $4,000.
4,000 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
4,000 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
2699, pleading default.
Unmet revoke and bond.
Commissioner Ford,
I'll do revoke and bond.
Chairman Bradley.
Revoke and bond.
2701, offer cancel and bond claim.
Cancel and bond.
Commissioner Ford,
What number is that? I'm sorry, Tom.
2701.
701. Yeah, cancel and bond.
Chairman Bradley.
Cancel and bond.
2702, $1,000.
1,000 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
1,000 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
2703 and 04, $3,000.
I'll take 3,000.
Commissioner Ford,
I'd go lower. They have no history with this, so I would go 2,000.
Chairman Bradley.
2,000.
I'll go to 2,000. So.
Okay. 2705, $7,000.
7,000 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
7,000 accept.
and Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
2715, $1,500.
1,500 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500. I had cancel and bond, but I guess I'll do 1,500.
Chairman Bradley.
1,500.
2716, $1,500.
1,500 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
Accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
2717, $1,500.
1,500 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
Accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
2718, $6,500.
I will go to 6,000.
6, all right. Commissioner Ford,
Doesn't actually matter.
Since 1883, I was going to say. 1983. 6,000.
Chairman Bradley.
6,000.
2719, offer cancel and bond claim.
Cancel and bond.
Commissioner Ford,
Cancel and bond.
Chairman Bradley.
Cancel and bond.
2720, offer $1,500.
$1,500.
Commissioner Ford
1,500 accept.
and Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
2721 is defaulted hearing.
Cancel for the record.
Cancel for the record.
Cancel for the record.
2722, offer cancel and bond claim.
Cancel and bond.
Commissioner Ford,
Cancel and bond.
Chairman Bradley.
Cancel and bond.
2723, offer cancel and bond claim.
Cancel and bond.
Commissioner Ford,
Accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Cancel and bond.
2724, $1,500.
I'm gonna lower this to $750.
Commissioner Ford,
I will do 750 as well.
Chairman Bradley.
750.
27, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 33.
Wow.
Went to hearing.
Cancel and bond.
Commissioner Ford,
Multiple availing, amongst other issues, this place should be closed. Cancel and bond.
Chairman Bradley.
So, dismiss charge 3 in the second proceeding. Do you have all these dismissals, Tom?
Right, we have everything, I'm assuming you're adopting with the ALJ's findings.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm at revoke.
Yeah, I'll do revoke and bond too.
I'll go to revoke and bond.
Okay, 2732, $1,500.
Wait, what?
2732.
32.
Ode to
I'll
Jack.
take 1,500.
Commissioner Ford,
Accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
2740, $2,000.
2,000 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
2,000 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
2741 and 42, $5,000.
I'll go to 3,500.
Commissioner Ford,
I will go to 3,500 as well.
Chairman Bradley.
3,500.
2743, 44, and 45 is an offer cancel and bond claim.
Cancel and bond.
Commissioner Ford
Cancel and bond.
and Chairman Bradley.
Cancel and bond.
2746 and 47, an offer of $4,500.
I'll go to 3,000.
Commissioner Ford,
I'll do 3,000 as well based on their adverse free history.
Chairman Bradley.
3,000.
2748, matter went to hearing where all the charges sustained.
And we counteroffer cancel and bond before hearing?
I'm still at cancel and bond.
I can double check that for you in a second.
Yeah, we did it.
All right. So cancel and bond claim, Commissioner Fan, all right.
What about the attorney's position that inspection should be charged during business hours?
Well, I think it goes down to an analysis of whether they were during business hours, and the guy identified himself when the inspectors went in there as a manager.
Okay.
And they were serving drinks, so
They were doing business.
I'm pretty secure in what they did here.
You guys are canceling bond or revoke?
I'm at cancel.
All right, cancel and bond.
Chairman,
Cancel and bond.
2749, offer $3,500.
3,500 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
3,500 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
2750, an offer of $2,000.
I'm gonna counter at 4,000.
Commissioner Ford,
With no history, I'm going to accept.
Chairman Bradley.
4,000.
2751, $2,000.
I'll take 2,000.
Commissioner Ford,
2,000 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
2752, $1,000.
Accept.
Commissioner Ford,
Accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
2753, $1,000.
I accept 1,000.
Commissioner Ford,
Accept 1,000.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
All right, with that, I have nothing else. Commissioner, Chairman Bradley, you have anything?
No.
All right, with that, then the meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.